Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sins and Consequences, a Blades in the Dark actual play podcast. Tonight we're gonna delve into some steampunk horror nonsense. But before we do, let's introduce our players. And actually, before even then, because I almost keep forgetting to do this. Thank you so much, Sydney Sweeney, for allowing us to use your music for this show. I really do feel like it brings like a really nice touch to the background music, and you just do a great job. Check out their YouTube, check out their glam rock band, the Blam Blams. Just links for that are in the description below. Also like to call out Nightland. Not call out Nightland. I'm not trying to fight her. But
I'm calling you out.
I'll shout out Nightland from over on the What the Dice podcast. I'll link to her artist page and as well as their podcast will be in the description of this episode. Yeah, they did some excellent art that should hopefully be available to see on the Dragon's Greed Facebook page and Patreon or wherever you catch our stuff. We're going to start releasing that in the next week or so. She did some awesome character portraits of our kind of four main characters, Ludes, Myri, Albatross, and Faye. And I think she just did a wonderful job. She was awesome to work with. If you're looking for an artist to commission, I would highly recommend her. I don't know. What else do I want to talk about, Adam?
So What the Dice podcast. Their first season's wrapping up really soon. It's all Pathfinder in a unique homebrewed setting that... Excuse me, I've been drinking some beer and eating some ice cream and some cheese curds, so I'm full of gas. Second season's about to kick off very soon. It's going to be Shadowrun. You guys know how I feel about Shadowrun. So check that out. That's what I got. You probably want to talk about, let's see. I
could talk about the new Alien show that's coming out on the Fridays. So they just dropped session 0 as of the time of recording this for Alien Colonial Marines or Colonial Marines campaign.
Cologne Marines.
Cologne Marines.
They smell great. Unless you get too close, then you'll get a headache.
All Macy's employees dealing with xenomorphs, sorry.
Instead of using guns, they just spritz you with cologne as you walk through the mall.
It's like, wait a minute, that's flour and sugar.
Oh my goodness.
Are we the xenomorphs?
No, we're not the xenomorphs. We're good guys, I think. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, they have they're playing some aliens over there. They just did some Walking Dead stuff. The Friday releases are as good as ever, but they got Scar, they got Chris, the Great Unclean One. They have the Mr. Reliable himself, Sean, and then they have a new guy, and his name is Adam.
What?
And
are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. There's another guy named Adam. So what I'm gonna need, because I feel like that's too many Adams. We already have two Seans. You can't have two Adams. You're gonna have to fight them.
Yeah, you know? I got this thing like my whole life. Every time, like school, like everywhere, it's always like Adam, and I go, yeah, and they're like, not you, the other one, and I'm like, oh fuck, I hate it. There's always two. It's not like the most popular name in the world. It's not like, like I don't know, kids these days where everybody's name is Aiden. It's not like that. But there was always two, and I was like, I fucking hate the other one. I hate the other one.
I've had that for a long time. With my name being Aaron, sometimes the other one was a girl. So like that was also kind of like interesting. When I was in college, I remember my first day of college, I was all excited because I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to rebrand myself. I'm 21 years old. I don't have to be Aaron anymore. I think I should just tell everyone my name is AJ and it'll stick and they'll never know the difference. And then literally like 4 people before me alphabetically also was like, by the way, my name's AJ. Like, And I was like, God damn it! Now I have to decide in my head, like in like the next like 2 minutes, am I going to just say I'm Aaron and move on with my life, or am I going to hold on for this thing I decided 15 seconds ago that I really wanted to do, and then fight forever to see which one of us is AJ in the room? I
gotta tell you, my middle name is Joseph. So,
yeah.
Growing up, when I was very young, Dad called me AJ, and then I decided when I was 3 years old, I made this decision. I'm like, I am a big boy now. AJ is a baby name. And yeah, and I stuck with it. And I've now this is the only time I've thought about being AJ when my dad wasn't around in 30-something years. So it's weird to me. Don't call me AJ. That's not me.
That's fair.
You can
That's
be
baby
AJ.
None of us here.
That's little baby Adam.
I'm glad none of you call me my legal name.
I don't know what your legal name is. But I've only ever known you as Dio, and if you tell me your name's not Dio, I will literally cry. We're not having.
I would not
It is a the first 3 letters of my name.
Oh, okay. So your name is Dionysus. That's what you're trying to say.
Close.
Dionisio.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It is.
It's got some stank on it. I like it, man.
And nobody was able to appropriately pronounce that stank. Because
I don't know, dude. The first time I saw your name written, I'm like, Dionisio? And it's like,
you're one of the few people that got it right. Yeah.
Well, it's spelled the way that it sounds. It's not like it's crazy. It's not like there's any kind of like Q or something jammed in there, you know?
I got a lot of Dionysico. A lot of teachers sucked.
A lot of people are overthinking it.
That's it.
Teachers
my
are
last
not great
name,
at that.
No, my last name is German. And the majority of German names, German as a language is very, very phonetic. Very phonetic. You know, with the exception of a couple, V's and W's sound different, but for the most part, very phonetic. And like I would get a lot of like Berkman, Becker, and I'm like, dude, I got Burkhart.
Yeah, I've seen your name spelled out.
What the hell?
It's not even spelt that weird.
No, it's straight up. It's every letter in my last name makes the noise you expect it to make. That's it.
All right. And because I thought of this segue, but then we kept talking. Speaking of putting some stink on it, CJ, how are you doing?
Oh, okay.
Stinky.
You don't know how I smell. This we don't do in person.
Chucks a stink bomb in there. It's like,
shut up.
No, I picked someone.
She's lighting a candle right now.
I got so many candles, you don't even know.
Yeah, tell us about candles. Tell us about your character. Tell us about candles.
What's your favorite flavor of candle?
My favorite flavor of candle.
Actually, I do have a question for you today. So tell us about your character and all that. But, oh shit, I just had it in my head and I forgot it again. I got so distracted by candles. God damn it! Never mind.
What are we doing?
Talk about candles. Oh, actually, what's the joke? What's your favorite joke that makes you laugh that you know is bad?
What does that have to do with candles?
That's a tough prompt.
That is a tough prompt.
Okay, it's okay if you don't have one. I do. I have
If
several.
I think of one like later in the podcast, I'll say it, but I can't think of one that fast.
Oh man!
Okay, no
I
worries.
hope you blurt out your bad joke like just in the middle of somebody else saying something.
I'm gonna have a character say it too. Like, hey.
Oh my god! I love it. I love it.
In story.
All right.
No worries. Wait. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I have 2 characters now. The OG is Myri the Leech, Miss Inventress. Now we've got a new character, Shiova the Ghost. She's got some mysteries on her. And candle-wise, one of my favorites is, I forget if it's like friendship or thank you, but from like Yankee Candles, I think. It's like, that's the name. It's just like thank you or like I can go grab it. Let me check. Let me
Smells-
check.
It smells like Friends.
I'm like,
It smells kind of like
I-
corn chips and feet. Ugh.
I hate when the names don't indicate what it's gonna smell like. When it's like unicorn, you know it's gonna be a sweet candle, right? When
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
guess.
No.
It's a candle. It's supposed to be, I think, something you send as like a gift to someone. It's just called thank you.
What's it smell like?
It smells like fruit,
thanks.
like candy fruit.
Like candy fruit?
Like
Okay.
thanks,
Okay,
like appreciation.
Okay. Okay.
There's like the Facebook good vibes. It's that candle.
Yeah.
It smells like a thumb. An upward thumb.
I'm so caught up on the
Speaking
on
of
the
thumbs,
unicorn candles. They always have sprinkles in them.
I just want to say unicorns are creepy. Okay, like they hunt virgins. Like that's bad.
Is
You
that a
shouldn't
thing?
do that.
I didn't even
they
what?
do
Yeah. They don't hunt virgins to kill them. They hunt virgins to hang out with them, like incels.
They just want to hang out with virgins. Why would you want to hang out with virgins? It sounds really, really awkward. It's just like, hey, so
Is
what's
that
up?
what-
And it's like, I'm very nervous.
Is that what happened in Cabin in the Woods? They attacked the virgin in the lab.
I don't know, but unicorns are creepy, and that's all I'm trying to say.
Wasn't that the
anyways.
bad guy from the Transformers movie?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
he was
What
also
am I
a
thinking of?
virgin.
Yeah.
I Adam, I don't know what you were thinking of, but Adam, tell us about your characters. Tell us about your life.
Oh man! All right, so I don't know. My name's Adam. Hello. My last name is not Burkhart. So I've got 3 characters currently. I got Ludes. You know him, you love him, or you hate him, depending on who you are. He's creepy. He's weird. He's got a lot of nipples and a lot of weird things that are related to wood going on. He is a lurk, which means that he's sneaky. I got Jacob Bridgewater. He has an ability that's never gone off yet, and he's kind of an asshole. And Marv, everybody's favorite big wall of meat that tells people to stop doing stuff, and then they do. That's what I got. Myself, let's see, what have I been up to? Man, work was a little bit light. I spent a lot of time at work reading books because there wasn't a lot of work to do, and I took an extra day off because I felt like it. And
Nice.
what else have I been up to, man? 4th of July stuff just happened here in America land. My daughter liked the fireworks, and she met a little boy that was about her age, and they chased each other around and were shouting. My daughter was pretending to be popcorn while the fireworks were going off. It was great. That's about it, man. I pitched a new book idea, and the guy in charge of that stuff said, I like it, but I have questions. Then I answered them, then I haven't heard back. So we're gonna see where that goes. Maybe I got a book in the works. That'd be cool, right? I
That
don't
would
know.
be
That's
really
about it.
cool.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, and we got ourselves Dio. Dio, been around for a while. Tell us about your character, and then I actually kind of want to hear your thoughts about Blades in the Dark. Is this your first time playing a game system like this?
So I'll start off with my feelings on the game itself. Yeah, this is my first time playing a game that involves more improv. I've always kind of been used to, and I like the dice system, honestly. To kind of start with that, like I feel like it's been pretty easy to navigate, especially if you know where you want your character story to go. It really is pretty easy to use your skills to kind of empower yourself to be like, I want my character to be able to be athletic and to be able to run on walls, and while also being just pure. It could either be through special abilities or through some of the things that you would have on here, like. Or it could be flavor, like say you do hunt, and like what Albatross does isn't like great feats of physical strength. He's using physics, he's using all this stuff by also doing, like, he's gonna hunt, grapple onto something, and run across a wall. You can see a person do something if they have the skill to be able to latch onto something with a grappling hook. And I feel like that's the thing I really like about this game. It empowers me to be able to use my insight, my prowess, my resolve to be crafty and to be able to have someone who's jumping into another character's face and reaping the rewards of doing something so risky.
Yes. No, it is one of my favorite games out there right now. And I don't know. I knew that you were, you and Ethan were kind of newer to, like, I don't know you as well as I know Ethan. Ethan newer to RPGs in general, and I think I knew that you were newer to like this kind of system. So I just was kind of wondering how you were doing, or how you felt about it. So thank you for that. Now tell us about Albatross. I mean, you did tell him about it. He's a crafty scoundrel, who likes to use grappling hooks. But yeah, tell us more. What's on Albatross's mind right now?
Albatross is on the wire. From the last skirmish that they had, and just how stressful the whole thing was in terms of just stopping and winning this war. In terms of this battle, or winning this battle in this war, he's exhausted, and he still needs to find out how he's going to obtain this demon flesh. That he needs to be able to not, cough, get another trauma.
Yep, because I mentioned it to Dio ahead of time. We actually forgot to do this during the last downtime, where he unfortunately was not able to complete the hunt. Mechanically, you were tapped, and you needed to find a way to get access to your chosen vice again, or to find a new one. And when you have a trauma in Blades in the Dark, you automatically take 2 stress any downtime action, or anytime you have a downtime period and you don't indulge your vice before the next score. Right now, you are 1 stress away from being full, which means that if you do this, you will be exactly traumatized if you fail to do it again. So the stakes for Albatross this downtime are higher than ever, higher than most. Boom, boom, boom. Who else have we not talked about? There's somebody else here.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, Ethan. No, I'm kidding. Ethan, how are you?
I see you're picking on me because I had tech problems when the session started, so I delayed us by 8 minutes. Maybe it was probably 10, but no, I'm good. I am much less stressed out than a majority of the cast and crew right now. I got to tell you, bringing up all the sheets and seeing all the red pips, this is going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of vice going on this session, I can tell. Over on my side, so I'm playing Vay Helker and the newest one of the newer members, Drillbit. So Vay is a spider, crafty, possibly from Boston or thereabouts, thinking accent-wise. But he actually
was transplanted from Boston into Duskwall.
Just the accent, but yeah. But he was actually MIA last session because he had gone down to the Watery Horrors with 5 stress and rolled 2 6s, and so overindulged and has been gone. And so in the last session, we met up with Drillbit, who is a French saboteur of sorts, who does not like the man and enjoys committing crimes. Over on Ethan's real life side of things, what I've learned about myself in the last week is that I'm really bad at shaving, and so it's
Me too.
which is crazy. I've had a beard now for, I want to say, 8 years pretty consistently, and about a week ago I went, it'd be really cool, instead of getting all these disposable razors, I'm gonna get a single blade because they look really cool, they're dirt cheap, they're really quick and effective, and it has just been so bloody. It has been so, like, I go and I'm like, all right, 30 degree, click, click, click. Yep, that looks good. And then I look in the mirror and it's just like the blood.
Why'd you do that?
Oh my
And
God.
it's just like, all right, well, now I got to put aftershave on, and I do that, and stings. And then like an hour later, I'm like, I better put on more aftershave just to be safe. And so, yeah, it's just learning the modern miracles of, like, the disposable razors and how much I had taken for granted and how much I assumed that I was skillful, but it was not me, it was the tools.
I highly recommend. I've used a straight razor, and I have the same issue, but I grow my beard out, and I don't actually shave that often, so I don't use it anymore. But YouTube is your friend. YouTube.
Dude, I bought one of them disposable kind of razors, a Harry's razor. It was cheap. I bought it at Target. I don't know if you guys got that up there.
We
Got it at
don't.
Target. Okay.
They showed up for a bit, and then we robbed them blind, basically.
Nice. That happens. That happens here too. But I bought I don't know if you guys can see in the video. I've got a lot of facial hair going on. I bought this thing like 3 years ago, and I'm like, I'm gonna use this to clean up, the tops and like the bottom and stuff. It's sitting in the drawer. I haven't opened it. I need to.
Yeah.
I'm growing this out. I'm growing this out on purpose. This is much longer than normal. I'm growing this out on purpose, and after Gen Con, I'm going to cut it off. Go back down to. Usually, it's a little bit longer than what you got going on down there, Ethan. A little bit longer than that, but not by much.
I just recently trimmed my beard down like quite a bit. Like mine was probably a little shorter than Adam's is now, and I had it that way for like a year, and I just trimmed it up a lot recently, so that I don't have to shave for like 6 more months.
There you
So
go.
Adam's what, 2 inches, Aaron's like an inch of beard, and I'm like half a centimeter.
If I
Yeah.
actually like stretch this out, I want to say this is probably closer to almost 3.5, 4 right now.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of beard. This is more beard than I normally have.
Yeah, that is a lot
The
of
only
beard.
time that my beard has been this long, otherwise, was when I was working at the shop I was at before. Me and a couple of buddies decided to have overtime beards, where we wouldn't shave our beards until we were done with overtime, as kind of a show of solidarity, as well as like a, hey, management, look at how long my beard has gotten because you won't let me take 2 days off a week, and I did not get to trim my beard for a year.
I mean, yeah, that would do her.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
it was
real
a
with you
year of
guys.
overtime.
Can't relate with this conversation.
I was
What
just
the
about to
fuck?
ask. I want to hear. I was gonna say I want to hear CJ's like beard care routine. Like, just tell us, how do you take care of your beard?
Look, I'm just gonna say up front, guy razors are better than girl razors. I don't know if I just had shitty luck with cheap girl razors, but cheap guy razors are so much better.
Oh,
It's
they
the
are.
marketing
They are
tactics,
100%.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
I once ran out of razors, and I used my wife's, like somewhat recently, like to just
And I
trim.
died.
And no, they don't work.
They don't cut. They don't cut.
It's
they
different
literally,
It's like
application.
rubbing it all up on you. Just like it's not doing anything.
like it literally, you could just fucking like lick it, and it would be fine. Like that's a problem for like something that's supposed to be cutting things.
Oof.
And I'm here having a barber that I go to.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, so fancy.
Look. I have always been taught to take care of to take care of my beard, to take care of my hair, because like my older brother would cut my hair for like the longest time. He would give me fades growing up before I would go to high school, like go to school, like during my high school times. And because he was really good at it, I always wanted to have that good of a fade. So I go to barbers specifically because you can't go to like a salon for them to actually give you that kind of haircut.
By the way, now that we're talking about haircuts, took my daughter to get her first haircut yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Very
Scary
first one.
things.
Did you-
And
Yeah, I
she
saw the photos.
did awesome. She did awesome.
Oh,
Well, yeah, dude, I was surprised. Like, she's got her attention span is like way worse than mine. And like the barber that was cutting her hair was like, okay, look down, and then she just looks down, and then she like cuts her hair, and then she's like, okay, look up, and then she looks up, and then it's like cutting her hair. I'm like, what the fuck? How are you doing this to my daughter?
Well, the
Uh,
first
I'm
time
like-
it's
I'm like-
novel, right? The second
Yeah.
and third time, that's when the boredom's gonna kick in and be like, I don't want to do this.
I mean, like, I tell her, I'm like, hey, let's put your shoes on. We're gonna go get ice cream, and then she's all like, cartoons. I'm like, no cartoons. Put on your shoes. But yeah, she got her hair cut. She's adorable, and she did really well. That's
Wow.
it. That's what I got.
We here at Dragon's
And by the way,
Dragons.
Unicron, not unicorn. Unicron was the guy from the Star Trek. Whoops,
Star
Transformers movie.
Okay,
Whatever, same thing.
Yeah.
I just don't want a Unicron candle. Anyways,
no worries. And last and totally least, it's me, It's Aaron, also known as Poultrygeist. What's my deal? I love terrible jokes, and I only really like terrible jokes. I actually, my greatest sin is that I don't laugh enough. I actually very rarely laugh out loud. You guys get it more than most people in my life. But one of the things that makes me laugh every single time is when I point at an open door and say that door is ajar.
It's so stupid.
Just don't tell that to my first wizard that I played. I thought the door was an actual jar.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Right. Wait, is it a door or is it a jar? Like, oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I do that, and honestly, it's kind of one of those things where I love that joke so much. I really hope that my wife takes it seriously. It's in my will that's what I want written on my tombstone. Is it a door or a jar? Question mark. What the fuck?
Full circle.
And if she doesn't do that, I guarantee that I'll will return to this earth as some type of ghoul, or perhaps a white, and I'll be the whitest white you've ever seen.
I was gonna say you're already pretty white.
Yeah, if you thought I was white when I was alive.
Your gravestone has to be in the shape of a jar, but it has the textures of a door, and it has to have that quote.
So you know what? In that context, I know what my favorite joke to tell is. Then that always makes me smile. It's eating a butt sandwich.
Eating a butt sandwich.
What?
So when you take the two butts of the end of a bread and then you make a sandwich out of it, so it's a butt sandwich.
You could just you get that, and then you look at your parents and go, "I'm eating ass." Just take a bite.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of crust.
I was reminded recently by my sister. I had this thing when I was when I was a younger child, as opposed to the older child I am now in my 30s. But I had a thing where my mom would always ask if I wanted 1 or 2 hot dogs, but no matter what I said, she would either just hand me one hot dog or cut the hot dog in half.
Your mom is a shyster.
The Chicagoan in me is mad because we have a double dog. And
Yeah.
you don't fuck
dude.
with the double dog, but anyways.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
from Chicago. I'm from the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's like
and so
the meme of the lawyer dog, where it's like, is your owner splitting your treats in half and presenting it as multiple treats? Like, you would be deserving of
Dog
compensation.
is like super mad. It's like, I don't want this. Like, Tui.
But the culmination, my sister was talking to me about this when we were at the wedding a couple weeks back. She was telling me about how, like, because my parents were separated, I went over to my dad's house and he was making hot dogs. He said, "Do you want 1 or 2?" And I said, "I wanted 2." And he made 2 hot dogs, like 2 separate full hot dogs, put them on my plate, and I got so fucking mad at him. And I got so angry. I was like, "Dad, this is not 2 hot dogs. This is too many hot dogs." And he's like, "I don't understand what you're saying." And so I took a hot dog, pulled it apart in half with my bare hands, and held it out to him. And I was like, "2 hot dogs, Dad."
Why don't you listen to me?
Yeah.
God.
And so that's why I don't have kids. That's really what I'm trying to say.
The hot dog debacle. That's why.
Yeah, that's the only reason I don't have children. All right.
That's
On
weird.
the topic of not having children, we are playing Blades in the Dark.
You did it. You did it. The worst segue yet.
Every one will be worse than the one preceding it. Speaking of being worse than the one preceding it, Vay.
Ouch. Ouch.
Damn.
Sorry, that segue was too good. Vay. A couple weeks back, or a couple recordings back, you went to indulge your vice and you overindulged.
Yeah.
Do you recall?
Yes, went down to explore the dark waterways for what is the word of it? It's like horrors?
Yes, unimaginable horrors.
Unimaginable horrors. Yeah.
Yes. The first time you went down, you managed to find like a pulsating flesh ceiling that just
weird.
kind of tickled your fancy and maybe raised some questions in your mind and caused you to think philosophically. This time, however, as the fake gondolier rows down the canals below the city, chanting his poorly sung songs, as a kind of like almost in parody of like what the actual gondoliers do. You find yourself entering into one of these like chambers where it kind of opens up, and there's actually a building in there. It just seems to be kind of like growing out of the water. You don't see the doorway, rather it's like growing out of the water, and it's like the top of some sort of building, and there's a window. As you approach, the gondolier swings to the side and he turns to you and he says, "Ooh, bad luck, man. Unfortunately, this is your stop."
I didn't know there was stops. I thought this was more of a, you get on the outside and you leave again.
Not quite. We come down here, we see what they want to present to us, and today you've been presented with an opportunity.
Well, consider myself lucky. And hesitantly, but understanding that he's not going to be getting a ride back with the gondolier, Vey gets out and he walks to the building.
Before you do, he pats you on the back, and then his hand slips into your pocket and pulls something out. Remember, you can resist any consequence in the game.
This is, yeah, I would resist this one, because this is, I'm assuming he's trying to take the demon bane charm that I have out, which I would not want to lose.
Slide a thumb down the crank of that ass.
Yeah, so
I would take
prowess?
I would say insight or prowess. Insight to notice, prowess to be kind of one step ahead of the game.
Watcha! No.
Yeah. All right, we'll take insight.
Too
then.
bad Marv wasn't with you. Hey.
Hey. No.
Hey, don't do that.
Okay. So you take one stress to resist this. But yes, you see what he's trying to do. You maybe put your hand in the way and you say, "What are you doing?" Well, what do you say when you see him trying to pickpocket you? I should say.
Not so fast. Hesitant to give you a tip, considering we didn't make it out of the actual waterways.
It's not going to do you any good in there. And if anything, it's going to make what you find in there more difficult.
Oh. Aaron, you were very, very right of like, oh, by the way, hard choices. So, no, that's fair. Well, I guess taking a fatalistic approach at this, I expect to have this returned then once I come back, and they will allow the Demon's Bane charm to be stolen. I'm assuming that that's what it is. Is that confirmed?
Yes, that is confirmed. He holds his hand out, and you place this tiny glass figurine into his hand, and he says, "Yeah, come find me at my spot. If I see you again, you can have it back."
To be fair, the power of the gods you see down here, I don't think the trinket would have that much of an effect anyway. All right.
Best of luck. And yeah, he boots you off, and the window is closed. And so you kind of go head first, and it looks like you're going to hit face first into the window, but the window just opens like suddenly into like a black void, and you tumble through it. We take a moment and we go back to the surface. Drillbit, Ludes, Shiova are approaching the library coming from Dunslow. I think you actually ended with you guys in the library. You guys had returned to find like a broken bell and a bunch of corpses in front of the library, as well as Albatross, Marv, Myri, and your various cohorts there as well. At this point in time, you guys can roleplay anything you'd like, but we can also go right into downtime. So I just want to check in and see what you guys are doing.
This is like bleeding out, right?
Lutz
Pardon?
is in bad shape. He's got hooked, a level 3 harm. He's stressed to shit. So he gets there. He's like, "Make yourselves at home. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go lay down. I got. I think if I remember correctly, my titty came off. I'm gonna go lay down."
He's got one less nipple.
Honestly, it's probably like 2 or 3. You know, here's the deal. This hasn't come up before. Really weird. He's got a lot of nipples, but there's none where they should be.
Okay.
Like where you would expect them to be? Belly buttons.
Belly buttons on where his
Yeah.
nipples should be.
Fucking
He's got-
bizarre.
Is it an innie or an outie? Or one of each?
Totally an innie.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I didn't
We don't
want to
do
know.
outies around here. You know, there's one thing, it's not cool to discriminate against people, but if you got an outie belly button, I don't want to see it.
Fair
Weirds
enough.
me out. I'm sorry.
Well,
What about the rest of you? Drillbit, Myri,
Well, Drillbit is quite happy to see the current state of things, and he's gonna go. He's like, "Well, looks like there's some work to do," and he's just gonna start fixing the door immediately.
Before I go, I got the here. This is for you. Hold on. Let me. And he like goes and he rambles around and looks around in his room and he pulls out this thing and it's like this blue like ribbon with like a pin on it and he like sticks it onto what was you say Myri? CJ, what's your other character's name?
Shiova?
Shiova sticks it onto Shiova's like chest area, and it's a blue ribbon and written in gold on it. It says 10-year. And he just sticks it on. There you go. There you go. Make yourself at home. Any of these rooms other than this one. This one's for me. Any of them. Otherwise, I'm gonna black out. And he just like collapses on the floor.
All right. What's Albatross doing in the immediate aftermath of this pitched battle? I also want to take a moment to say that you guys can go absolutely buck wild. This war is over, by the way. But
Woohoo!
how does it end? You guys can basically narrate what happens. I feel like you've earned that in the process of multiple scores. This is kind of your reward. Fucking do whatever you want to the Path of Echoes.
Oh man, let's get really weird. No, no, never mind. Let's not get that weird. I'll tell you what though. You know what? I won't. I got an idea. I'm gonna look at Aaron like this.
Yep.
You
And
know.
I do.
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
Over in Charter Hall.
Oh, we're going right to it.
Why not? Why not? We'll go to that. We'll go back today. We'll see what people are doing for downtime. Over in Charter Hall, we see Jacob Bridgewater. Where is he? Or perhaps I'll describe the headquarters of the Path of Echoes.
Yeah, you go ahead and
decide from there.
you tell me where he is.
Okay. So, in Charter Hall Academy, they really took like a residential district and turned like half of it into a college. So there's
Okay.
the law department, which is like a series of brownstone homes
Okay.
along like a street that people have knocked the walls out of and like kind of like made them into like one giant classroom or like a series of classrooms. The philosophy wing is like kind of like a 2-story series of like shops and residences above, and so the path of echoes, they kind of have taken over about half of the philosophy wing.
Okay.
You would know probably just from like kind of spending time around and doing some research that the path of echoes, they have like a presence that's both like legal and vetted, which is that
Okay.
they host classes in kind of inside the old like inside an old sundry store that's been
Are they
cleared out.
accredited?
They are accredited.
Nice.
The leader is a man named Solomon Triss. He is a tenured professor at Charter Hall Academy.
Oh
It's
shit.
real easy to get tenure.
Oh, that's Solomon. I see.
Yes.
Were they teaching how to do that weird, like die and become a ghost shit? Because that was
I think that just
Uh,
happens, man. I think you just become a ghost when you die.
They do, but you would know from research and like as a whisper, they have a way of like what they're doing is they're funneling like incredibly strong emotions and intent in the moment right before they commit suicide in order to unleash their ghost as a weapon. They
Oh.
are using their ghost as an echo to continue what they were intending to do the moment before they died.
okay.
That's
That
fucked.
explains, that explains a lot.
Yeah. No one had actually asked about that before, but that's what they were doing. And so like that's why like the ghost kind of always had like one thing they tried to do, and that's why the ghost didn't turn around and try to get Irie a second time. Because it had one task it was meant to do.
And I just
Does that
thought
mean
that
that
was
that-
lazy writing.
I got him. Does that mean that ghost is gonna keep showing up and trying to snatch her out of this place?
No, because the ghost has been captured by Lord Skurlock.
Oh, good point. But otherwise, would it?
No.
Okay. It wouldn't be
there's
like,
a-
oh, it's 6 p.m. Everybody get out of here. The ghost is gonna try to snatch someone and fly away.
There's another aspect of the Path of Echoes that you guys haven't found out about yet. So I won't. I'm not. You would need to
Okay.
gather information if you want to learn that. But I will say across from this kind of like grouping of stores that have been turned into classrooms, there is the Sparkwright Tower, which is a lightning tower that's been built in the middle of Charter Hall to teach people about sparkcraft technology as well as civil engineering. And in front of that is like, let's say, a 3-story skinny house, much like the one from Stuart Little,
Oh,
that Jacob has found found access to in some way or another. Either it was abandoned or he knows the owner and has like bribed them or whatever
Okay.
you want. But
Okay.
that's where you are. You're kind of across the street, maybe about a block away.
okay. He is going to burn them down.
Most
Burn
excellent.
down. Yeah, you know, where they hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you going about doing this?
He probably has a couple of buddies from the Leviathan Hunters rolling in with, like barrels of, like pitch, and, you know, they're going through and just, you know, they look like they're supposed to be there, and they go into where they're not supposed to be, crack these things open, roll them around, and, everybody else leaves. He's got a big old cigar, and he lights that thing up, tosses it in,
Okay.
torches it.
I love it. I'm gonna have you roll something for this.
Cool.
I'm gonna say that it's risky
Okay.
for standard effect. I'm also gonna offer you a devil's bargain.
I'll probably take it.
The devil's bargain will be that you will not have control of the spread of the fire.
That's fine.
All right.
That's fine. Scared Ethan away. All right. All right.
Tell me what you...
I mean, looking at his abilities and stuff like that, none of them are really good for this kind of thing. So I guess probably be sway.
Or command. Like if
They're both the same. They're both the same. I'm gonna go with sway rather than command.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting your buddies to help you. You're convincing them to do this.
He's gonna convince them. He's not gonna demand it of them. He's gonna convince them to do it.
Okay, you give yourself an additional die for the devil's bargain.
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna push it real good. For the
All
extra
right.
die.
Okay, so that's
Yeah.
that's rolling 3 die. Let's see what happens.
Come on, baby.
All right.
5s.
Partial success is exactly what I want.
Great.
It takes
I'm happy
off.
for you.
Yeah. It does work. It you burn down this classroom that Solomon Triss is in. You see that there are
Oh, he's in it.
no, he's not in it, but that's where he
Okay.
would teach.
Okay. I was like, oh shit. I didn't expect it to get that dark.
No. There are people inside of it though, because there's a TA in the corner. You see them at first through the window trying to put out the fire and failing miserably as it spreads. They manage to break out through the back door just in time for the building to envelop, and the fire is spreading incredibly quickly when in the second story the entire thing explodes.
Oh.
Because there were munitions that the Path of Echoes were hoarding in there.
Oh.
And it spreads to the next building. And you see that Charter Hall is starting to burn as Jacob probably leaves the scene with his Leviathan Hunter friends.
Oh,
you see that over half of it, and it's even spread into these brownstone homes that they make up the legal department of the Charter Hall Academy.
Not the lawyers.
Somebody think of the lawyers.
Save the lawyers. Oh no. Yeah, he walks away cool, smoking the cigar.
Yeah, you smoke that cigar as the.
Can I transition this to what Albatross is doing?
Absolutely.
Looking through a psych class, Albatross sees all of this happen, panting from exhaustion, and glad that he doesn't have to do this himself.
Yeah. Whether they agree with each other's methods most of the time or not, right now they seem to be on the same page, Albatross and Jacob. Perhaps this is the start of an excellent romance.
Bloody, violent one, I guess.
Yeah, why not? We have 2 of those in one season. Why not? We will check in with CJ and your characters. Is there any downtime activities that you'd want to take in this moment?
I don't know about downtime, but I just want to do it real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, everyone was cleaning up. Iree's also scavenging through the books. No, not the books. And then she hears commotion at the front doors. All right, now who's out there? And then she comes storming over, and then she sees a glorious hall in there, a thing that I wanted to build, but now it's here. She just goes, well, what are you doing here? She just immediately forgets the entire place was almost burned. She's like, what do we have here?
I am repairing the door.
That's very thoughtful of you. Why are you here? Not that I mind. I was just curious.
Oh my god, she's in love. She's like, ooh, robot, I love you.
This French robot's walked into my doorstep, and it's all I've ever wanted.
Dear Penthouse Forum, I never thought it would happen to me.
After escorting Ludwig back to this place, I figured it would be due for
His unconscious
some
body gives
repair.
a thumbs up.
Well, I don't even mind that you've disappeared for so long, Lutz, if you're going to bring me back a gift like this. So, do you know who made you? Do you know anything about how this is all put together?
I can tell you, I am a general purpose drill model machine. As for the circuitry, I think you would have a better idea than I do.
What
We're
happened to
looking
you?
at chassis, baby.
Oh, just what happened to your oh? We'll have to fix that out. They're all dented. Someone shot at you, didn't they?
Oh my god, I love it. I love it.
Someone did
I love
shoot him. And so Myri fawns over Drillbit. Albatross watches as Jacob burns down a large section of Charter Hall in order to get back at the Path of Echoes. And we return back below the city, where Vey is in a dark room with a small lantern burning above a desk. It appears to be like maybe like a hotel desk. There's someone sitting. You can see the silhouette of a man sitting with his back turned in a swivel seat. Behind, there's a small bell on the desk. You try to look around the rest of the room, and it's just like it's just so dark you can't see what's around.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, they would definitely, at first do that exactly, looking left and right, understanding that, at least in this world, what's here, the storybook is very forward-facing, and so he would walk up and probably incredibly afraid, but trying his best not to show it. Ring the bell, and it's like, hello, I may or may not have a reservation.
The seat swivels around, and there's a man in a bellhop's uniform. However, the man is clearly deceased and bloated as if he had drowned. Insects and flies fly and like buzz around his corpse. His hand opens and a key drops to the floor by his feet.
And just to be sure, I'm not here too early, right?
He does not answer.
Yeah, I didn't think he would. Nothing else is happening. Let's follow this through. And he's gonna, bend down and grab the key and, look at it, maybe flick a few bugs off of it. Completely disgusting.
Yeah. It reeks. It's awful. It smells horrid. You grab the key and you step away. As you step away, the lights seem to turn on. You see that there's like a set of staircase, like there's like a staircase, kind of like you would see in like a Hilton hotel. So like there's like it goes up, and then there is an elevator at the top of these stairs. You look at the key. It is room 313.
Well,
Um,
at least
when you
there's a
go to
lift.
turn around, the desk
Oh.
is gone.
Yeah, it's one of those kind of encounters where I might have had this dream before. I think I've definitely had this dream already. Waking up would be great, but in lieu of that, I think I'll go ahead to the lift. He's gonna walk on up, and at least thankfully he doesn't have to take the stairs.
Yeah.
In this
Yeah,
situation.
you climb the short little jaunt up to the stairs to where the lift is. The lift opens, but instead of finding a lift, you just see empty space.
Oh, well, that's perfect. All right, well, there's no other way of getting up, and he's gonna kind of look around, and unless there's another staircase that's illuminated, I guess we're getting in the lift.
You step forward, and you find yourself you step forward and you find yourself falling. You fall like maybe about like a foot.
That was not that bad.
And as you look around, you find yourself in the Railjack offices, but you're standing on the ceiling.
All right, I know
Under-
I've had this dream before.
Yeah. So you see like a hanging lantern, like sitting completely upright, on a chain in front of you. Like above you, I guess it would be in this case. You look up and you see yourself working at a desk. There doesn't seem to be walls, even though you remember that there definitely would have been. So you can see the entire layout of the offices. You can see yourself. You can see Salia kind of working up the way a little bit. You see Jaren. You see your old corpulent boss, the one who gave you that brass watch.
What a keeper that one was. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, seeing as how we made it to the office, I think they'd go and check out what Jaren was up to. You know, oftentimes while working, you know, they definitely had this sense that Jaren was setting him up to fail, and was, you know, always talked like he was straight, but was, you know, hatching all types of deals, and like just could tell that he was always up to something, right? And so, you know, even in this spot, it's, you know, want to go check out what he's up to.
So you approach where you know Jaren's office to be. Inside you see him, much like you would have been, poured over paperwork, trying his best. In the privacy of his own office, you see that he's incredibly anxious. And like, it's just one of those things where you see like several empty mugs of tea on his desk that he hasn't cleaned up in weeks. You see him pouring over this paperwork and muttering to himself. He's like, "This is impossible. Like this cannot be done. There's just not enough trains. There's not enough staff. I don't understand how they want me to do this." You see him like almost with tears in his eyes
And
as
he
he's
thinks
working.
he's better than me, and you think you're better than me. Ugh.
And yeah, in this moment, there's a knock on his door. You can see that it's the portly boss because you can see like there's no walls for you. And Jaren jumps. He very quickly looks at the door. He looks at the paperwork. And he, for the first time, before he answers the door, signs your name on the document.
I knew it. I knew it.
And you hear them talking. Much like with this as you hear them talking, it's like, again, it's that underwater sound, like the voices coming through water. In this moment, you see that there is a doorway that you could like walk towards off in the distance.
Yeah.
You also know
go
that
ahead.
they are talking about you.
No, that's fair. It's they would sit and listen, but to be honest, has also had enough of being on the other side of those conversations when those types of things were happening not that long ago, and so it's just gonna turn around and it's just like, I knew it. I finally caught him red-handed, son of a bitch, and he'll walk out to the exit door or the next door.
Okay. As you step through, there's a bright light, and we return to whoever wants to go next. We're back on the surface with whoever would like to tell us about what their character's up to right now.
So I want to try to find a way to resolve Albatross's stress. And I wanted to ask a question beforehand, just to kind of set some clarity here. Celine, as far his or Albatross's deadly friend here, Celine, is somebody who, the way that I've established her, at least the way I've brought it all up, yes, it is somebody who helped create Albatross's arm. But
Okay.
So in this case, I want to ask to see if this is okay to do, because Albatross is desperate.
No worries. You can always pitch your idea, and I'll scale it back if I have to. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell you how you can do it. So that's my role as the judge in this situation. You tell me what you want, and I'll tell you how you can do it.
But you know Albatross's intention. You know what his ultimate goal is, right? From what we've talked before.
Yes, I do.
There would be one other source that he has for demons, anything. And he only has one. It's not great. It's not potent. But it's something that Celine would only know. And it has to do with the arm.
Okay. Tell me about it. I'm not 100% sure where you're going with this,
So what Albatross wants to do, and if I could try, like, because I want to role play it, but I also want to have the idea. What he wants to do is go meet with Celine, panting, tired, and the arm and his body is in hives. It's not reacting well. He'd be going through withdrawals.
Mm-hmm.
Flesh that he would eat would help integrate into the augmentation, and something that Celine would be working on. Something that they would have as a mutual agreement. This is something that they both know that is wrong to do, but they would be doing it anyway. Integrating technology with the flesh of demons.
Okay, so mechanically speaking, you have a clock that you have 3 segments on out of 8 that you have to fill you have 2 segments out of 6, not 3 out of 8. 2 segments out of 6. When you fill that 6, you will be allowed to indulge your vice again. I called it Hunt Succeeded, but it does not have to be that route. We can approach it from multiple angles, but you just need to fill that clock before you can indulge your vice. That's the only thing I'll say.
Okay.
There is no temporary relief of this, but
okay.
Whatever you're trying to do, I'm still willing to get down with as well. So yeah, ultimately, I hear what you're saying, but I want you
and it doesn't have to be demon's flesh either. What I could think of, it could be a temporary solution that maybe even Celine knows. That's not that it could be maybe drug induced.
I hear you. So in this case, we're going to try and this is a long-term project. That's what we're doing for the mechanical downtime. I need you to roll an action roll to see if it works and how well it works.
We're done with the war, so we're back to 2.
You were back to tier 1.
Oh, but I mean 2 actions,
Downtimes.
2 downtimes.
Yes, you will have 2 downtime actions.
I'd be down to have one of my dudes help with your long-term project.
Albatross had that in mind as well.
Oh, great. I'm glad I volunteered.
It's a punchy McPunch face, but I'll bring that up later.
Mm.
Sorry.
So currently you were hunting / being hunted by a demon named Sarata.
Sriracha?
Is it Satara or Sarata?
Why is it so
Whatever her name
spicy?
is. There.
If it's
So-
ooh,
It's Satara, yeah. Satara is,
Ooh.
yes, is the same demon that they met early on in the season. So like that is ultimately what it is. It's like, you know that you're being hunted. Like, you tried to hunt a demon and now you're on the other end of it. Doesn't mean don't do this. I just want you to know. What is the end goal? Like, in plain terms, what's the end goal of what this role is going to be with Celine?
Reduce stress. Go fuck up the demon.
You cannot reduce stress until you fill out this clock.
Okay. Risky.
Like absolutely, you must fill out this clock this term, or you will become traumatized for a third time.
yikes.
Then regardless of it, I still like the whole thing with trying to deal with the rejection that's happening with the arm. So that still
Absolutely.
happens. But then in this case, my first downtime is going to be spent. I mean, that flavor happens. So the motivation now is he needs somebody to help him with this, and if anything, he also wants to ask Celine to see if he could join in, if she could join in on trying to get this demon.
Okay. So I'll say this. Lately, like, you're especially after wearing yourself out, being this close to the verge of trauma, you are like you said, you're breaking out in hives from withdrawal. It's been a long time since you've indulged in the ritual, and maybe the longest you've gone in a long time. And yeah, you are finding yourself like, you need this. And you're weaker than you would be. You're not as sharp as you would be. Perhaps a lot of your skills, your abilities, and your drive come from the fact that you eat what you eat. Celine will help you in this case for sure. To amend the situation, because you're finding that it's coming from, like, your stump is the origin of the pain, and so she will help you. I would say maybe a tinker roll, potentially a study, and you would be, because you are getting assistance from an NPC that is your buddy, you can give yourself one additional die.
Okay, hell yeah. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be rough, but.
Yep.
So what's the position here?
The way long-term projects work, generally the consequences are not that bad. So we'll say controlled, for standard.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a little bit different than typical action roll. It's a downtime activity. So.
All right, let's see where it goes. 2 die, trolled standard. Right. Oh shit. Okay, guys.
Oh, not great.
Okay. Not
it's
great,
better
but
than
not as bad as the last time. You can check off 2 segments on this clock.
Okay.
For each coin you spend, you can upgrade it 1 level higher. But also 1 coin is an additional downtime. So you only need to roll a 4 or higher if you were to go again to fill out this clock.
So I have one more downtime to do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But then you will also need to indulge your vices as a downtime action. So
I will
Spend the coin
spend.
either way.
I will spend the coin. Yeah.
No. You would need to spend 2 coin right now to fill out this clock, or you can, when we go back around, you can do it one more time. As long as you roll a 4 or higher, you'll fill it out all the way, and then spend the coin to do the downtime.
Okay.
like-
Okay. For sure.
So yeah, you are sitting in Edelstein's office with Celine. Edelstein is not in. She has asked him to leave. And the two of you have taken off your arm while she applies salves and recites Aruvian prayers over your wound. She says to you, Albatross, I don't understand how you shouldn't be alive. You shouldn't be keep going. You are so lucky to be here, and you just keep pushing yourself and hurting yourself. Like, as someone who cares about you, this is hard to watch.
You're pretty tough to look at.
Should not call you ugly, I'll say that.
After last session, you're laughing like that, Adam.
Oof.
Celine, you know my intentions. You know my goals. I cannot stop.
I mean, you could, but I understand you won't. I'll help where I can. Starting with this, and she pulls out a scalpel, and where your stump is, you see that it's kind of black and festering, and she literally scrapes it off with the scalpel, and it does hurt. But it seems to after she's done and she's giving you some pain relief, you feel like you at least have enough semblance of control that you feel like you could finish this hunt. And we will move to the next player, Myri.
Eh.
Or I guess this is the CJ. You have 2 characters now.
Yeah.
One of them can take a downtime action or do some free play, whatever you'd like. But what are they up to?
I'm trying to decide. I think we're gonna try to clear Myri's stress first. We'll see how that goes, and then that'll inform my next downtime action.
Okay.
They're just at war. She's living on the edge. Wants to go back down to that library, try to live a little dangerously, get some new soggy books.
Yeah, there's some nonsense with the timeline on this, because the Path of Echoes, you might want to go back after and be like, I did this with them, so this can happen before, during, after, whenever. But this you are doing this.
Okay.
At some point. So go ahead and give me that indulge vice roll, and then tell me what you're doing.
It's been a while. I forget which one I'm supposed to roll.
Oh, you roll your lowest lowest score. Either insight, prowess, or resolve, and in this case, it would be resolve.
So for resolve, I guess it'd be like the conversation you have with Danny Deraviso about the Dewey Decimal System.
It's 1D, right?
Yeah, it's 1 die.
Well, it's both 5. Both of them are 5, so there you go.
You roll 5. You reduce by 5 stress.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that.
There we go. So yeah, how does that go? What are you doing? Are you in the main library or the one underground?
I'm underground.
Okay. So you hit that library up underground. Anything you're looking for in particular?
Anything that's legible, because as I remember, it's pretty musty and squishy in there, and potentially wriggling dead bodies in there. I don't know.
They seem to be gone. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just remember that a lot of the books were just in not good condition, because this is it's humid in there. So she's just search around trying to find like just one or few, oh, just like
Yeah.
like a couple books that are just like actually legible and like I guess with that good a stress, she at least finds one.
There's a moment where you find that sleeping area where someone had been burning books and like they had a cot laid out. And you see like a stack of books and you start to read them. And they really seem to strike a chord with you, like both as interesting literature, but also like interesting areas of study, things that you were interested in, and also things that you know that your father Eckerd was interested in. I don't know if Myri knows this, but this was Eckerd's home fairly recently. I have mentioned it in the show, but I don't know if Myri has been informed. So you are sitting in your father's sleeping quarters, and you were finding books that he has written under the pen name Jeremiah Walker. You've also are finding books that he's been reading. A lot of them are about philosophy, but some of them are about Sparkcraft technology, clearly stolen from Charter Hall Academy.
Well, now she doesn't like these books.
I don't think the Charter Hall Academy was the
Not
problem.
the Charter Hall Academy, but definitely the other books.
Yes. Yeah, but as you go through, like, you are finding like whoever had this collection of books, because again, Myri doesn't know it's Eckerd. It's not like
Okay.
there's a sign.
Yeah.
No
The
name
library
badge.
card's not there. Like,
Yeah.
Last checked out by.
You were finding like a sense of kinship with whoever this person was. You're finding yourself wondering who it could have been. Because like they just seem to be an enlightened mind and someone who thinks a lot like you. And you enjoy the afternoon, the evening. Who knows what time it is? It's always night and dusk fall. We will go to. Okay, 1 second.
He's just screaming at the dogs on mute.
but no matter what, I read the shut up.
Yeah.
you just imagine the fingers there. It's like,
For anyone that's a dog owner, there's a tangible like understanding of like. Shut up! No.
yeah.
Oh, I don't raise my voice at her. I talk to her like sternly.
Oh, I tell my dog when he won't stop barking, I'm like, dude, if you don't stop barking, I'm gonna throw you in the trash.
I tell my cat frequently I still have the receipt.
Like, dude, seriously, if you don't stop barking, I'm throwing you right in the trash.
I tell Pixel, well, why are you like this?
Okay.
Why? And she just stares at me blankly.
Yeah. All right. Adam.
That's me.
Yeah. Let's check in with one of your characters. Marv, Ludes, the other guy, Jacob
The
Bridgewater.
rest.
Jacob Bridgewater. Now, one thing I'll say is you could, as any character, because it's a long-term project, engage with Albatross's long-term project.
All right, so here's the deal. This hasn't come up before, but man, Sitara has really been a problem for Jacob Bridgewater in his life. It has not come up once, but it's on the character sheet. It's been there since he first showed up. So,
It has.
while he's off doing his own thing for a little while, pondering the great questions, as you do, say he probably stumbles across her. And he's going to try to deal with the problem. So, his ghost hook, lightning hook, mega hook, what do we call this thing? Zapper? Zap stick?
It's a lightning hook, yeah.
Lightning hook, there it is. You use that on a demon, right?
You totally
Demon?
Oh, yeah.
Person, if you want to. I mean,
I mean, yeah, why not? Fuck it. All right, so I'm going to try to do that, I guess. I'm going to use a tune to try to, solve this problem by conjuring her up, essentially, and then just beating her up. Beating her up with a lightning hook. For once, because, like, she killed his dad.
She's killed many men. Satara has.
Approach.
That is enough to fill out the clock. So I'm going to take a moment here. I'm going to describe some stuff. You and me, we're going to bip and bob, okay? Because I don't know Jacob's story either. But you more so than perhaps anyone else, including Albatross and even Bay, who's interacted with Satara before, know what Satara's deal is.
What's your deal?
She is the incarnation of vengeance and machinations. And she is also like a fire spirit. Like that's kind of like the core of what she is made out of, is fire. And her kind of MO is that she will make deals with men that she knows that they will not be able to complete their end of the bargain.
Trifling.
Yeah. And ultimately, yeah, she did kill your father. Your father made some sort of deal so that you could get into the Leviathan Hunters. Because his standing with the corporation was not very good. He was a very low-ranking member aboard the thing, and Jacob Bridgewater was not like a particularly strong young man. He wasn't very physically savvy and was not maybe well versed in how to sail when he first joined the crew. And so, why would we bring your son? You're barely useful as it is. But Satara quickly changed some minds on your father's behalf. And you don't know what she requested of him, but he clearly didn't do it because you found him one day returning from sea, borderline crucified in his bed, glass impaled through his hands, his legs, his eyes. And you know it was Satara. On several occasions through Jacob's life, she's probably approached you, offering you similar deals. Have you ever taken one?
Oh, fuck no. No, he doesn't. No. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? No.
What did Jacob make a deal for? No.
You know what?
Fair enough.
I would imagine he got kind of suckered into making some sort of really stupid deal. Not even a good one. One that, it was one of those kind of things like the situation was just right where he idly was like, man, I wish this weather would change. Not moving. I wish I could steer the winds and just change the direction of this. And there she was.
And yes, given her nature as a being made almost entirely out of like quartz, you didn't realize you were staring straight through her when you made that request. She places a brand somewhere on your body.
It's on the small of his back.
Stamp
And
trap.
On the small of your back. And the deal she makes, she kind of resonates it out as her body moves and like the glass kind of hits these pitches. It's something inhuman that I could not ever replicate, but the words she says are, one day you will lose it all and you will give it to me. you valued the most?
He has no idea what she's talking about.
And then,
I have no idea what she's talking about. But
that's fair.
We were talking
and
this
then
whole
there's the
Jacob
sound.
Albatross relationship earlier, so I think it might come back into that.
Yeah. Just gonna take Albatross right now. And there's the sound of shattering glass. Did Jacob ever have children?
no.
Okay. A wife?
No.
Do you want to know
He's
why?
married to the sea. No, of course.
Oh.
Yes, of course I do.
Because Satara took your ability to love.
Oh, that explains everything. Fuck.
In
That
that
sucks.
moment, she took your ability to like really connect with people in that way. Whether Jacob realizes it or not.
Nah, he's got no clue.
Yeah.
He just feels like
But
he's
part of you,
preoccupied.
like
You know, he's like, no, I've got more important things going on.
I'm mentally deflecting it.
yeah. It's
Never
just like,
crosses
yeah,
me.
your brain is incapable of feeling that way. Like it's just you see a person, a woman, a man, whatever, and it's just that thought has never made like the connection, and like you don't even realize you're missing it. But yes, it's gone forever. She took what you cared the most about before you ever even had it.
Brutal. It's better to have lost love than to have been something. Yeah. You know the one.
Yeah.
However that goes, yeah.
I do.
Better to
However,
have
in
lost love
exchange, you
than
got
to
the
have been
ability to
blind at
control
all.
the weather. Exactly. But in exchange, you did get the power to control the weather.
Yeah, I mean
so
that's cool,
kinda
I guess.
Um,
Yeah, it's never come up, but you know he can do it.
But in this moment, I'm sure it's come up a lot in his career as a Leviathan hunter.
Absolutely. That's why
but,
that's why they keep him around. You can be like, you guys want to go that way? All right, there we go.
Mhm.
So
There we go.
I got
but
enough
you
to
do
finally help him finish his hunt, though.
find Satara today. Yes, the hunt has been succeeded. And so what I want you to do is I want you to describe how you capture him. Because I don't want to deprive Dio of the moment where he gets to slay this demon. But I don't want to deprive Jacob of it either.
I want to have basically like conjured her up and gotten her into a position where he's had enough, you know, because she keeps popping up here and there and like fucking things up, and he gets her into this position where he thinks he's got the upper hand. And the idea at this point is like, you know, the circle, the martyr, teacher, it's all coming together. She taught him how to do the thing he does. Maybe she needs to die. It's like a circle, you know? Ends where it begins. With this thing. He sets the fire. It's burning. It's got a cigar going. He does the thing he needs to do to conjure up this demon. He knows how to do it. He's got an attune of 3. It's almost the most you could have. Shows up. He starts wrangling with the lightning hook, getting ready to try to push her back into the flames. Send her back to what she comes from. Smash her through the glass into the flames.
So
Poetic, he thinks.
You're summoning Satara, right?
I guess I don't know if it counts as a summoning, but like basic. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a summoning. Like, hey, you come here, rather than like he's not like creating her or something like that, you know, but making like compelling her to show up here.
Because if it was like a teleport situation,
I don't think it's a teleport thing. I think it's just
At first,
basically like
kind
a
of like
forcing her to come here
Okay.
through our like shared branding connection.
okay. I'll be totally honest. My internet kind of shit the bed, and I missed most of that. So let me
Good.
know if I need to know anything about what was said.
I think Dio needs to. I think the ball is in Dio's court at this point.
Um,
I'm gonna put my balls in your court.
just imagine you trying to score and just like slapping it out of the hoop. Sorry.
Imagine my balls in your court.
Okay. How do I want to move forward with this? Albatross would have already been hunting Satara. And upon finding Satara, notices that the movements of this demon are now not focused on him per se. Seeing that the demon had an upper hand initially, like the tides have turned. He's no longer being the one he's no longer the one that's being hunted. But I assume Satara would start moving fast towards Jacob's location.
I suppose, yeah.
Then it essentially kind of just becomes a game of cat and mouse, where they're kind of chasing each other down, but Zatara's not paying attention to him at all, and Albatross isn't being he's not engaging per se, because now he's curious as to where all this is heading, because that's not normal demon behavior. So you're not just getting Satara showing up, you got Albatross kind of jumping behind it, following this demon, and hoping for this to finally stop so he can just kill the damn thing.
So, in my mind, he's like
he found
battling.
Satara. He found Satara like before you summoned the demon.
Okay.
And it's like upon seeing it, like bloodlust is shared between both of them. They know what they want to do to each other. It is one dies here right now, and all of a sudden it's like a turn of the head and just starts running away.
Okay.
Because if it was a summoning situation where like it teleported, oh dude, like it would have been Albatross and Satara like in combat, and like Albatross took a foot. But I feel like in this case it's a chase down, being like, wait, we're supposed to fight. Where the fuck are you going? And he's chasing Satara down.
Okay.
So,
Well,
okay,
yeah, good.
are you guys going to work together to bring down Satara?
What I was thinking would be cool is, Jacob's doing his thing and he's trying to like fight this demon and trying to like basically like lasso her and like throw her through a window into a burning building. And like I think it would be cool if she ended up like she started to get the upper hand, right? And things are looking bleak, and that's when Albatross like swings in and like fucking saves the day essentially. And like there could be one of those situations where Jacob's like,
Okay.
I had it under control.
I think I see what's going on here. So, or I see a way for these to connect these two things. Albatross, after your meeting with Celine, you went back out on the hunt and you found Satara. There was that moment where the two of you were going to have your fight to the death. You as like an experienced demon hunter of sorts, and her as an experienced demon. However, suddenly she leaves, the sound of shattering glass as she sprints down the street. You chase her, you follow her. As you round the corner, you end up in Charter Hall, and you see her kind of like emerge and suddenly appear, like not suddenly appear because you saw her run there, but like from Jacob's perspective, she suddenly appears in front of you.
Mhm.
And the two of them start to fight. Jacob is starting to get the upper hand, but then all of a sudden, Satara actually breaks the lightning hook by holding it, and like her hand heats up and it melts the metal. Don't worry, we'll get that back
Okay, cool.
after this downtime. You can get another one, but you lose this one.
Okay. That was my dad's.
And in this moment, Albatross, you see Jacob about to be killed by Satara. But you've already filled out the clock, so you get to win this fight without rolling. Just tell me how you do it.
With the demon distracted, it would be the demon holding, or Satara holding Jacob by the hook, and as it's melting through, you see Satara with victory assured in their demon mind, and suddenly a claw bursts out through the chest, holding a beating heart, and then it pulls it back out. And the heart is untouched. Flesh, the organs, all of it to shreds, but the heart itself in perfect condition, still beating.
It does beat. The heart is transparent, but you can see the blood vessels inside of it.
Oh, weird. I love it. He's gonna take this opportunity while she's dazed. And he's gonna grab and do one of those cool things where he rolls back and like puts his foot like into the abdomen and pushes and launches her through the window into the flames.
Yeah.
I got her.
You see Satara, whose flesh you are holding, Albatross, because she is made entirely out of quartz. But like a lot of demons, like their forms are kind of immutable, and you know that the ritual is not so much about eating the flesh for the sake of eating flesh. It is about eating like the core of what they are,
Consuming the essence.
and so you are holding her core. The heart does not stop beating, but you do see that this glass figure, as the flames emulate it without her core to sustain it, the glass starts to melt, and it turns into like a hard black obsidian statue, like just like a pile of melted glass. Inside the fire, Satara is dead for all intents and purposes, yet her heart still beats in Albatross's hand.
I think that's in character.
Yeah,
holy shit.
Seeing Jacob here, Albatross is actually confused. The branding, how apparent is it? Like,
Normally
Well, he said it's
not
on the
at
small
all,
of his
but-
back.
Well, it's normally not at all, but when he does that cool move where he rolls back, you know what I'm talking about? He's like got her by like the lapel, and he like rolls back with a foot in the abdomen and like kicks her up. As he does that, like his shirt comes untucked, and you see the branding on the small of his back. And the branding, I like to imagine, looks a little bit like the Loch Ness monster popping up over the top of his shorts.
Fair enough.
And by shorts, I mean pants. He wears pants. He's not wearing shorts. He's wearing pants. You guys ever see Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Yes, I almost talked about it in length at the top of the episode, but I'll save it for next week.
Weird. All right. Yeah.
That's a
I mean,
good episode starter.
You know what? Albatross doesn't even care that Jacobs is there. He starts to feel the withdrawal symptoms return within like the wound itself. He knows that his time is almost up. And in front of Jacob's, he's going to consume the core in one foul swoop. Like he's going to just gulp it down. Like you're gonna see this thing with the metal claw itself being crushed and put in like and being consumed by Albatross.
Oh, he does not like that. So what the hell are you doing? Where the hell did you even come from? How do you keep doing this? Every time I've got a plan, every time I got something laid out, you just swoop in out of nowhere.
And Albatross would likely respond to that, except that in this moment, he is experiencing like a seizure, almost.
He's standing, but he's like kind of like you see him like contort and like twist and turn and
yeah, the eyes roll back in his head. Albatross, you have this moment where you for a moment can see like the base of Jacob's spine, like with your eyes closed, or like you're not actually able to see the world around you, but you can just see this heat signature where Jacob's spine is. And you see the crashing wave, the folding abyss that all Taikarosi people are aware of. In the background, and you see this spot in his spine. You have a moment where you think that you could reach out and grab it.
My spine?
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
he's he'd reach out for it. He's going to kind of like that painting of where they reach out like this. I don't know, like where he's reaching for God's touch. He's gonna
like the one on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel?
yes.
Okay. You know that one.
Like, but it'd be kind of like where he's pointing down. He's going to reach out towards the light itself.
You touch the light, and the light moves from Jacob's spine. Jacob, you can maybe feel it. It's like you've always kind of had like a bit of like a pain from having like a very deep, like 3rd-degree burn.
Okay.
There, and it leaves. Jacob. Albatross, when you come back to, you look, and this is your good hand, the one that you haven't lost, that you reached out with. And when you look at your hand, you see that you have like a hole in the center of it.
Oh.
But when you tap it, you realize it's made out of glass.
Oh, you got a little weird window in your hand.
Does the hand work still? There's like a window in it now?
Yeah, it's a fully functional hand.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, and so in this moment, I'm not going to give you any special powers or anything. I'm not going to take anything away from Jacob, but Jacob, you no longer have that like lingering pain in your back.
Cool.
You are also fully aware of every missed opportunity you had to find something you cared about.
Oh, no.
That'd be
Damn.
cringe. That'd be really
Ooh.
cringe.
Oh, that's no good.
Just like, oh no, she was hitting on me. She was so into me. She
Oh
was
my
cute.
God. Yeah, I'm such an idiot.
But Dio, I will be
given you
private
the
messaging
capacity.
you.
I've given you the capacity to love.
Yes.
Snatch it right off my back.
Yes. But Dio, I will be private messaging you in between sessions here. We have a Dio episode coming up in the future, but at this point in time, you do not have any special powers as a result of this, but you do have the ability to indulge your vice, and I'm assuming that's what you're going to do with your next downtime action.
Absolutely. I'm spending the coin. I'm getting my A.
You don't need to because this is Jacob's downtime.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yay!
welcome.
Thank you for saving me money.
I don't think we ever
Um,
actually split the money from the.
No, we haven't. You guys were. I did give you guys payoff. Did you guys record it down
It
somewhere?
was 8 coin. I always write it down because we talk about like here's how much coin you get, and then we do like 3 things, and it's like it's so late we gotta just jump off. So yeah, we got
Yours.
8 coin.
Okay.
And we have 3
Okay.
unspent crew points.
Yes, you do have crew upgrades coming your way, but we don't got time for that because Vay stepped through a door,
Sure.
and then we're gonna go on break. But Vay stepped through the door first. So Vay, you step through this door.
Yep.
You walk into a physicker's office. You see your father as he coughs and sputters and holds his chest. The physicker does his best to help out in this moment. He's crushing up these like kind of white tablets and trying to feed it to your dad, who keeps refusing the medicine. He says to the physicker, he's like, listen, it doesn't matter. This is like the 3rd time it's happened. I can't keep going like this. Can you get my son? I just want to talk to him. And the physicker, you recognize that this is the office that's across the road from the Railjack offices. The physicker steps out for a few minutes, and you recall this day. Because after a few minutes, the physicker returns and he says, I don't know if he's going to come. I don't know if he can. What happened on Bay's side of things is that your boss came in right around the time. As you look at the clock, you see what time it is. You recall where you were at this time this day. You were in your office, and your boss came in, berated you for your lack of efficiency, your lack of product, and to get these schedules done on time. And he handed you extra work that day, and you ended up working late. It was well past when you would normally finish a shift, when you came home and discovered that your father had passed. And it's in this moment you realize that the physicker went there and told your boss that your father asked to see you in his dying moments. And just as you're having this realization, a figure steps out. It's a man in a yellow robe.
Oh, it's that guy.
Yes, if we go to the landing page here, you see a man in a yellow robe. The robes come down to just where his fingers are, but his fingers seem to be made out of like branches of some kind. You can't see his face, like it's literally impossible to see inside of the robe. And he says, "You missed it the first time. We all have duties to perform and responsibilities. Would you like to talk to him now?"
If I could only be so lucky, you know, one of the biggest things I've had working at the Brailjacks is, I'll tell you, it's the type of company where every piece of work that has to happen is top priority, and it's only years later when I've finally been able to kind of move on from such the frustration that, you know, it's it would be really great to see, to at least hear what, you know, what final work that my father had for me, instead of the work that my boss had for me, because I can tell you it I did the boss's work, and it wasn't worth it.
And in that moment, the Physicker's office kind of fades, and sprouting from where this man is standing grows the familiar, you've seen this before, the willow tree. You are standing in a field. The sun shines brightly, though this time you see that the sun is actually in the shape of a serpent with an open maw, and inside is this large radiant sun as it looms impossibly high above you. And the man, he says, "Come closer." But in order to do so, you would have to step into the shadows with him.
Oh, out of the sun. Yeah, so maybe like at first he'll like the step happens, but there's the hesitation right at the shadow, taking that second or two of unfamiliar warmth across the body and going, all right, and taking that step into the darkness, to go closer to the yellow-robed man, or the yellow-robed figure.
As he steps forward, he opens his arms to embrace you, and he does. He holds you close, and the robe kind of just parts enough that you see that your father's face is kind of embedded into his wooden skin. You feel a pressure at the back of your head. And your father says, "Vay, is that you?"
Yeah, it's me. It's Vay. I'm sorry I wasn't there when you left.
No, I'm sorry. I set you up for a life that, honestly, I wish I could have told you to live your life differently, that I lived my life differently. I'm not here to tell you that you did right or wrong. I don't know. I hope you're okay.
Well, I'm just getting by, but I can tell you, your old job ain't what it cracked up to be, and I'm about done with that one.
I hear you. It took more than it gave, and it took me too long to realize that, but that's okay. Or I don't know if it's okay. It is what it is.
No, that's fair. What did you want to talk to me about on that before you left?
I was gonna tell you to not follow in my footsteps, to be honest. I was really hoping that you would just not make the same mistakes I did.
Oh, believe me, Dad, I'm making all types of different mistakes, I can tell you.
Well, that's half the fun of it, I guess. It's just, at least maybe the office is bigger. But and just as he's thinking about what to say, his face kind of contorts and his jaw kind of slides sideways and then just drops slack. And you just, in a distorted form of his voice, he's like, "You need to spend your life in worship to the sun and to the man in the shadows. This is what I wanted for you."
And stoic face, but just kind of tears coming down. There's just a bit of a nod as he kind of pushes back a little bit, trying to avert his gaze from what did very much look like his father's face and is less and less looking like his face as things are melting.
As you try to turn your head, you feel that there's like these like almost like needles in the back of your head, in the back of your neck. And like it like you realize that like whatever this thing is, it's pierced through your skull. And it holds you tighter, and it pulls you closer into your father's slack-jawed mouth.
Oh no.
And all of a sudden, like, your father's face begins to eat your head like a serpent. And you slide into this robe. And we on the outside just see Vay as he's being shoved into like the belly of this strange figure underneath the tree until the man sits down and crosses his legs as you are gone.
So I've not had that dream before. The first two I've had before.
Wow.
This was a new dream.
Okay.
Fuck.
All right.
And with that being said, I think now is the time to talk about RC Cola.
Oh my god, RC Cola, drink the serpent.
The serpent.
Would you like to drink this RC Cola under the willow tree?
Would you? Yeah, we are going to take a short break, guys.
Good.
So,
Fuck.
yeah, we'll take a moment here. Everyone, enjoy an RC Cola. Enjoy a Dr. Pepper if you suck.
Got it.
If you drink Dr. Pepper, use Roll20. Those two things go hand in hand. Take that, Chris. All right, everyone, we'll take 5-10 minutes here. Enjoy your lives.
Okay.
Okay, so I have been workshopping. By the way, listeners, we're back. I've been workshopping a new stand-up routine. I gave you a little taste of it there at the beginning, talking about my gravestone, whether or not it's a door or a jar.
Okay, all right.
No, talking about whether it's a door or jar and being the whitest white. But one of my favorite jokes that I've ever told is about the first time I bought a vacuum cleaner. And so I had this whole bit where I talked about like buying a Kenmore Whisper Tone vacuum cleaner. And you know what the thing about the Kenmore Whisper Tone vacuum cleaner is, Adam?
No, I don't.
Is there's a fucking company in Michigan where a bunch of marketing people don't know what the word whisper means. Like, these are people with real jobs. Because it was like the fucking loudest vacuum I've ever seen.
But did it sound like someone whispering? Was it like, hey, how's it going? Let's go. Come on.
No,
like, really
it
loud?
actually, no, it sounded like being in a wind tunnel full of like elderly men screaming at the top of their lungs.
That's fucking weird.
I have this giving intuition that it might be an MLM like vacuum cleaner.
No, it's Kenmore. It's Kenmore. Yeah, like Kenmore.
That's a legitimate company.
Oh
That's
shit!
like
Never
a
mind. I
real
take it back.
company. These people have real jobs, and they have never fucking heard the word whisper used in a sentence. Apparently,
I mean, you did buy the vacuum.
I bought it because I
Buzz
thought it'd be
quiet.
quiet. I thought it'd be quiet, be like whispering sweet nothings in my ear, and I'd be like, "Oh man, I've been single for a while. Like, this is kind of nice." But that's not what happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So with all that being said, that was fucking horrifying. Right before the break there, I'm sorry, guys. I feel like that was really dark. I might have to put a disclaimer at the top of the episode. But hopefully Myri is not living that dark of a life right now. What's Myri?
Well, let's dig into your family trauma.
Oh, boy. Thinking. My other character's got quite a bit of stress on her too.
Well, she is drained. Ghosts
Yeah.
do operate different.
What's the difference? How does that, mechanically speaking, how does that differ?
Mechanically speaking, it's just flavor, I think.
Yeah, depending, like vampires and hulls have more slots to take drain, which is their equivalent of stress.
Okay.
But their abilities also cost more drain to use.
But do you
Generally.
like clear it the same way?
Well, if we ever see Drillbit go, it's different. But ghosts
Okay.
and vampires tend to hunt.
Okay.
People.
You
Okay.
have an intense need, life essence. To satisfy this need, possess a living victim and consume their spirit and energy. This could be
Ooh.
a downtime action. When you do so, clear half your drain. Oh, so you can do it in scores.
Yes, you can. It's
Oh.
any time you do it, but if it's during downtime, it's a downtime activity,
Okay.
which
okay.
makes it a lot safer. Well, it makes it a lot safer to do during downtime.
But it's always
yeah.
half.
It's always half.
Okay.
So that's the thing, was once you use drain, it's impossible to clear it all the way.
Okay.
Interesting. But you can't overdo it.
No, you cannot.
Interesting.
So Shiova, are you gonna go find a living victim?
I think Shova's gonna go hunt.
Okay.
Oh, you can't do anything
So-
about that. She's got tenure.
Fuck.
So Shiova, does Shiova take the girl with her, or does she
No.
does she leave? Okay.
You gotta keep your work and home life separate.
Hmm.
So what happens
enough.
with the meat?
Shiova's gonna kind of go in like off to herself, and then also just kind of by herself say like, "All right, you know the drill. I'll try to be back before the next day, around the morning. Stay here. I'll be back." She just pets her own head comfortingly. Stick around, don't.
That's hilarious.
And then I guess the ghost just comes out and then kind of goes off. And now the girl's just kind of standing there awkwardly, looking around and tries to find a corner to. She kind of like awkwardly stands around, and then like if one of the like ladies from the if she sees other people working, she'll ask if they need help, if she should do anything. But otherwise, she's just kind of standing there or sitting awkwardly.
Now is the perfect time for Marv to show up and just be like, "Hey, I don't like
Hey,
that."
who are you? You like food? You got a lot of food. I guess I got too much food. You want to eat this? Who am I kidding? I'll eat it.
But yes, who's Shiova? Like, what's her favorite kind of person, or like, does she have like a target, or is she just gonna find the next person she sees?
Guess. Her favorite kind of target would be the easiest target is like she likes getting like drunk guys who look like they have money but they got like a little too drunk. It's like, oh, you fucked up. So like a little too well-to-do people who just got a little too drunk.
Nice.
Goes to the bar.
Okay. All right. So I believe you make a hunt roll, and as long as you get at least a partial success. Oh, actually, I think you succeed no matter what. It's just that you may find that there's consequences to the actions that you take, depending on how you roll. This is kind of the roll to see, do you kill the person?
If you push yourself, would that be like you could add 2 pips that would then get reduced?
Yes, actually, yeah.
We're just gonna go for it. Live life crazy. Oh, okay.
Okay. So good news is you still clear half. The bad news is that the woman, is it a man or a woman that you?
Can we get another dice roll?
Yeah, just roll a d6 there.
Do you roll 1 die? Even woman, odd man. Woman.
All right. There's a sprightly young woman, who's rigorously kind of leaving the bar, and she parts way with the rest of her group. Shiova descends down and possesses her. You start to feed from her. When in this moment you realize that you've maybe gotten a little too comfortable possessing a willing person. And she kind of wrenches control, and you still manage to ride, but she sprints back out into the streets, and she's calling out, and she says, help me, there's something happening. There's a spirit, and it's inside of me. And then in that moment, her heart stops beating. It just turns out that she was kind of on a small concoction of drugs. Was kind of already close to having a heart attack when you started feeding and when she wrenched control. But in this moment, she passes as you take the last of her life energy. In the open streets of what district do you want to be in?
Silk Shore.
Ooh, in the open streets of Silk Shore, another corpse falls to the pavement, or to the cobblestones below. You do manage to escape. However, you know that the spirit wardens will be investigating this incident.
Rich blood.
Yeah. All right. We will go to Adam at this point in time.
Luz is gonna do some drugs.
Ooh,
It's important. He's got to do that.
it's got to do that. It just has to. So this will be your second downtime action.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, good news is you can't overindulge.
Bad news, because he's got that level 3 harm. I need him to disappear again after he disappeared. This guy is wrecked. He's fucking useless at this point. So let's go. So my stress is at, what is it, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nice. Should have trusted my instincts. Let's go. Oh, I said roll 0 dice. Whoops.
Oh, yeah, fix that. We'll take the next roll.
Should be. It's the lowest of my things, which is 2. All of them are at 2. There we go. Ooh, crapo.
Well, we'll take the
Take it away,
3.
too.
We'll take the 3
Okay.
from
Thanks,
the first roll.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, so you managed to clear 3 stress. I mean, obviously, the morphine is helping with the pain, but the pain is immense and distracting. And so, it's not a comfortable situation. It's not a good day to be loose.
No.
I don't think there's a...
Most of them aren't.
Fair enough. I mean, you got to be a little bit of a hero just the other day for Mandy. So that wasn't so bad.
She's like, ew, you monster, get away from me.
She spoke to you at the end there. I'm editing the episode.
Actually have a conversation with her.
She said, ew, you monster, get away from me. All right.
To be fair.
Be fair, you were being...
You did stalk her.
Monster.
You were
Get
being
away
a little
from her.
monstrous.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's awful. That's fine. I'm okay with
but
it.
yeah. So where do you go and get? Where are you going to get high today?
Oh man. He's got to hit up Sawtooth.
Okay. You find Sawtooth in his office, and he's like, "Oh, you're pretty fucked up. Are you here for that, or are you here for the other?"
Yeah. I don't know. Can you do anything about this? And he points to his this bizarre at this point the nipples are starting to look more like bark than nipples.
Mm.
No, I can't deal with this. Just shoot me up with whatever you got.
Yeah. So you know he has morphine pills in his shop, but he actually pulls out the liquid.
Okay.
Injects it into your thigh, and then he does help you with that. He gets a knife and like a small blowtorch, and he's like, "Yeah, no, it's not the first time I've seen a Takarosi on the field. Give me a moment there." And he like literally scrapes it off and then cauterizes the wound, and he just keeps doing that.
The surgery is called all nipple, no bark.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
great.
it's one of those things where you're on enough morphine where it's not as painful as you feel like it should be. It's almost comical, like kind of like when you're on laughing gas. You're just like, oh, you're taking my teeth. Okay.
Oh, here's another one.
Yeah.
I was bleeding a lot. Oh.
Does another nipple grow in its place?
Yeah, and they'll be back.
Eventually.
Cut one nipple off, two rise to take its place. Oh.
Your chest is like a hydra.
It's not just the chest, baby.
All right. Vay, Ethan, I want to ask, does Drillbit want to take any downtime actions before I go back to Vay? I'm not going to go back to Vay right this second either way, but I'm just...
Oh,
Drillbit
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yes, I did want to take at least one downtime action as Drillbit. So
Yeah. Tell me about
yeah,
it.
we'll say after 3-4 hours, something like that. You know, Drillbit's gone. He's, you know, the door's not really repaired, but it's at least on the hinges, and one of the doors at least opens up, and you know, there's some raftering, and you know, like you can tell that there are signs of construction and repair going on, and he's going to kind of stand there looking at his work, and you know, just kind of notice that of the capacitors that he has on his back, at least most of the first one is pretty well drained, and so he's gonna make his way over to I guess we'll go to Night Market, and so, well, is Night Market the best? So I'm thinking we're gonna go to one of the I don't know, like a transformer by one of the lightning rods to siphon off some power, basically.
I'll say you can go anywhere you want. Night Market is it's a busy area, but also it's not super well guarded because everything there is like illegal. So it's not like the blue coats have like a super high presence there.
Yeah, that's fair. And like as much as it might be a busy area, one of the things that Drillbit is good at is lurking in the shadows because of how
Drillbit lurking in the shower.
You fucking such a creep. He's just like, what are you doing? That sounds more like a lewds thing than anything.
Can you say in his accent, "Don't forget to wash between your legs"? That's okay. You don't have to
wash. Yeah, some like you'd maybe rust up a little bit in the showers.
Play in the shadows. He flourishes.
Quite well. Yeah, so he's gonna go, and I don't know. Is this something that you want me to take a roll on, or do I just kind of talk through it?
No, as a whole, you just need to find it. Actually, yeah, I will have you make a roll because it's not legal. You can't be doing this. It's a crime. You as a being are a little bit of a crime, depending on who finds you.
Yes.
Most people don't care, but the ones that do care a lot. You're supposed to be like on a tight leash.
4 die, and I still don't
Risky
get
for
like
standard,
a
yeah.
6.
You get seen. And this is actually going to lead into getting trouble. Actually, no, it's not going to lead into the entanglement, but I know what the entanglement's going to be now. Yeah, unfortunately, you do get seen by, oddly enough, Celine. because the Dr. Edenbacher's Physiker station, I forget his name for some reason, Edelstein, is actually pretty close to the lightning tower. And so Celine sees you as you're just finishing up like this thing where you connect to the base of the lightning tower, these transformers, and recharge your cores. She approaches and she says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Where's your master?
I'm sorry, I am not allowed to tell you. I was inspecting this lightning tower, and everything seems to be up to code.
You were not inspecting this lightning tower. I know what you were doing. I'm coming with you. You take me to your master right now.
Very well. And so Drobit is going to start to lead them away and is going to try to duck them out and lose them in the corridors. Or actually, am I allowed to do that? Because I know this is partial success, and so there's like you're dealing with this.
You are. This is a resistance roll if you want her to not follow you home.
Okay, that's fair. You know what? We'll let this one ride. Let this one ride. That's fine. All right, so
Celine follows you. And you see her. She's not a very large woman. Like, she's tall. And she's definitely strong. But she carries this large shield that's taller than she is, like a tower shield. And as you're walking with her, like, occasionally she's like kind of rough with you. She'll like push it into your back and push you forward to kind of keep you going. And eventually she makes her way to, where do you take her?
I mean, I guess we're going back to the academy. Actually, no. Well, I don't know. I'm like, let me jump in and do other plans and that. Sorry, go ahead.
What's the only place that he knows about? Like, I think he's only seen the library, no?
Yeah, she knows the library for sure. Or he knows the library. Celine doesn't. Celine, I don't think, has ever been there. So, if that's where you're taking her, that's okay. If you're trying to misdirect her, that's okay too. Like, you can take her anywhere you want.
Well, and I don't know. Sorry, I was going in my head. I'm like, is there a thing of like having her go sit at a cafe and then meeting up with one of the people here instead of like actually leading to the base? Because as someone who is committing crimes, immediately leading people back to your lair is maybe not the most apt of strategies.
That's fair.
So I guess so we'll go to this cafe and just one of those, like, I need to very quickly have my master come here, if that is okay with you.
Be quick. I'm gonna watch which way you go.
So scampering out of vision and towards the lair, Drobit will return to the university and make a quick announcement to the group of, unfortunately, I have come into a situation of requiring a puppet. Would someone like to volunteer to take down the heat very quickly? It will take no time at all. Looking to
gotta roll who's actually there at the time.
I'm like, and he will her name is Celine.
Wait, what?
I guess I could help you out. I don't know. I don't got anything going on.
What did you get into? What's happening?
Just a minor misdemeanor and not being a person per se. I require a body to tuck our way out of it.
You're some kind of robot man. All right.
All right. Well, you're not taking him with.
All right. Fine. I don't want to go anywhere.
Our usual talker isn't here. Look around. Who else is here?
I mean, there's Daniel Derabizo. There's these other women. Daniel is distraught, absolutely devastated. His rarest books have
feel
been
you,
eaten
man.
by some sort of crazy moth.
I'm with you,
Fuck.
man. Not the
Demon,
books.
yeah.
I imagine Danny is on the ground trying to piece together books, and so there are just like rows and rows of pages of books as he is trying to go in and organize and to like reconstruct.
Yes, he's doing his best, and he's also he's rewriting some of the books that he actually has read and knows well, like rewriting sections of it to the best of his ability. But yes, yeah, that's probably who's here. I think this is all kind of happening around the same time that Jacob and Albatross would be fighting a demon.
All right. Well, it looks like I'm the one coming with you.
Much appreciated. And
Yeah.
we will lead her back to the cafe.
So you arrive, and Myri, you see Celine there. I'll pull up the art. Why not? Buddies and rivals. Celine, a sensible. Bam. There she is.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the chafing chainmail.
Yes, the chainmail lady. So she's there, and she says, or excuse me, are you this one's master?
That would be me.
You can't be coming to the lightning. Like, you can't. You know it's illegal for him to be connecting to lightning towers directly. You're supposed to have your own equipment.
Oh my god, is that where you went again? I told you that is not. Oh my god, I am so sorry. You see, I'm sorry. This one's a little new. I've been trying to work out the kinks. He keeps walking over to the lightning towers, even though I tell him that's not. There's Charter Hall towers, and then there's lightning towers. All right, I need you to understand the difference between them.
Sorry, he's capable of being disobedient?
He doesn't understand what I tell him sometimes. It's just it gets a little fogged up. There's like some kind of disconnect with the auditory or whatever. I'm a little new at this. I'm sorry, don't judge me. I'm a little new at this whole thing.
Listen, you're just lucky it wasn't one of the Sparkrites that found him. They would have just kept him.
You know what? I so appreciate you bringing him back. Thank you. I'm going to keep a good closer eye on him. I'll tell you that.
Probably for the best. If I see him again, I'm going to be forced to dismantle him.
Well, I'm sure both of us in this room wouldn't want that.
All right. Well, best of day. And she stands up and she offers her hand to shake.
I'll shake it.
Yeah. Mechanically, I'm setting the stakes. Like, if you keep getting caught doing this, somebody's gonna fucking kill you. Like, not because you're like, not kill you because you're a robot. They're going to dismantle you for parts because you're incredibly valuable.
Yeah. Do not disassemble.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind, Ethan. Going forward, you wanna be extra sneaky or be prepared, or you might want to look into finding a way to do this at home.
Wink, wink.
But yes, Drobit, you do manage to have your drain. I'm hoping that you applied that already. Adam, or actually no, I'm gonna go Dio. Albatross. I know that we haven't actually rolled your Indulge Vice, but we've already done that. So if you want, if your next downtime action was to Indulge Vice, I feel like now would be the time to roll that.
Okay, so because it's been a while since he's indulged in his vice, I'm trying to remember how to do that again. Is it just general? Indulge vice. Okay.
Yeah, there's an Indulge Vice. You want to count how many you have. You enter how much stress you have. which I believe for you is 8. And then you roll your lowest stat, which I'm just trying to open that up. So
It's resolve. He's got one.
yes, yeah, 1 pip in resolve. So you're gonna roll 1 die.
Wait, 1 pip in a resolve?
Yep. You have because it's only the first pip that counts for the resolve total. So it's the number of skills in each overall that you have.
Same
Okay.
as resistance.
True. It's a stress 8, 1d for the resolve. All right, let's see what happens.
All right. Well, you clear 3 stress, and you've indulged your vice, so you don't gain 2 more at the end of this. So that's good. So that's like clearing 5 stress. That's awesome. But yes, you clear 5. You clear 3 stress, and I think ultimately why you maybe didn't clear more, why this doesn't feel as good as you thought it would, is partially because you are contemplating the actions that you've taken immediately after doing this and realizing that the other Taikarosi that you normally do this with were relying on you to bring this home, and you consumed it all by yourself in the heat of the moment. I am going to start a clock called Something Bad.
Uh-oh. That sounds bad.
Be more generic.
Can I spend a coin to try to initiate another hunt?
Yes, but not right now because we're moving through the actions. But yes, you totally could. I'm gonna rename this clock, but I'm gonna call it's gonna be a 4-segment clock called Something Bad. It's going on the crew sheet, and when it fills, right now there's no pips in it, but when it fills, something bad's gonna happen in relation to that. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go back to Vay. Vay, good news and bad news. The good news is you're still alive.
Ooh.
That's a plus, I guess.
The bad news
depending on how you feel about life.
is that you seem to be in some sort of like abyss. There's like nothing around. You're laying on your back, looking up around at nothing. The only thing you can see is that each time your heartbeat, and because it's so quiet in here, you can hear every single one. You can see a number going down. That number, sorry, 1 second, I wrote it down.
Is 12. You're like, oh.
No. Is 72 million.
That's the big number.
100,006. Sorry, that's 72,100,005. 72,100,004.
I don't like where this is going.
Neither do I. That
Every-
cat butt is... You're in your big eye, CJ.
Oh.
You're wearing
Yes.
glasses.
As you see this number, you kind of close your eyes and you can still see it. Actually, as you close your eyes, it goes away. And you kind of play around a bit, and you realize that you can only see it when your right eye is open.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, but that number does decrease with each one of your heartbeats. And in this moment, you realize that you're underwater. And you feel like you know which way is up. as you start to float. You were lying down on a solid surface, and now you're starting to float.
Starting to find the float, they will start swimming and moving up. Every once in a while, closing his left eye in order to just kind of keep staring at that 72 million number as it.
Well, it's actually decreased now. It was 72,100,000, but now it's actually 72,090,904. It's going down. It's going down with each heartbeat. I'm not going to keep track of that. You go ahead and do that if you want.
It's a relief.
But yes, you do eventually manage to breach the surface. You recognize immediately where you are. You see the wooden pulley system that you guys have built. You're in the waters of your vice den.
Interesting. Well, with that and finding himself back in a place that he knows he's gonna make his way out of the water onto the walkway and sit down for a second and just kind of calm himself down as he can start to see, like, now that there's like this number going on specific to the heartbeat, it's just like this is the point where he's sitting down, letting the heartbeat slow and see the number slow down as it's every single heartbeat, and just kind of have that in there. And it's like, well, you don't see that. All right, well, I guess I got some work to do. And he's gonna get up and make his way back out to the lair.
Gonna go home. All right. Adam. No, wait, no. Have we gone through everyone twice already?
I think so.
Except for Ethan. So, this would actually be a good time. Does Vay want to take a downtime action?
Ooh, that's interesting. So I think instead, I would like to take my downtime action as Drillbit, having just been scorned from some other person that he didn't know, and seeing the hassles and how much that can impact him. I want to start a project to connect up the quarters to the power grid.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Sorry. Wow.
Wow.
So exciting.
I'm gonna make that a 6-segment clock. I want it to be something achievable. I don't think it's totally outside the realm of possible. I think other people know how to do it.
Ari's raising her hand after she's done with her gun.
Yep.
Sorry, gun's gotta come first, then she'll help you with the power.
Yes. So yeah, go ahead and what are you doing to get this done? What are you rolling?
Well, I think the majority of the work is going to happen with something closer to a tinker, but actually, being the craftsman that Drillbit is, I think I'm going to kick off this thing with a survey, because Drillbit is going to take a look around at the block around to understand, how things are currently wired up and what type of material is needed. And if there are some nearby houses that are less furnished and lived in, that material can be taken from. So
Alright.
a bit more of a scavenge than anything else.
Now let's see if we can scavenge some good parts for this.
Nice.
You do it. So on the 6-segment clock, you have retrieved, enough parts that you have filled out 3 pips.
Nice.
Oh.
So you are halfway done.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. You know,
Wow.
Ethan
Wow.
does the best Owen Wilson impression.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've
Wow.
never heard one better in my life.
Wow, you're gonna really talk this one up. All
Yeah.
right, here it is. And the reason why Aaron's talking it up is because like when I first did it, I talked it up. Aaron's like, "All right, well let's hear it," and I go, "Wow." He's like, "That's it?"
That's not
I'm like,
good at
"Yeah,
all.
that's Owen Wilson."
That's the whole thing.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow.
That's so good. That's so good.
But he talked it up for like a week straight. But I've been working on this like real hard, and like I think I'm gonna nail it. Like I think I'm doing a good job. And like I'm like, okay, man, like show it to me. And like he kind of hesitated.
It just makes one noise. Goes, wow. It's barely even a word. I love it. That's so good.
I'm still proud of it.
You should be proud,
That's
Ethan.
So good.
It's the best Owen Wilson
Oh.
impression I've seen since I've seen Luke Wilson do an impression of his brother.
Oh man. I love
But
it.
yeah.
Oh,
All right. So everyone has taken 2 downtime actions here, guys.
Oh yeah.
I am going to deal with this entanglement that you guys have.
Tangle it up.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I went too far. There it is. So I already rolled. Your options were gang trouble or the usual suspects. And I actually think in this case, it's going to be gang trouble. One of your gangs or other cohorts causes trouble due to their flaws.
Hmm.
You can lose face, forfeit ref, make an example of one of your gang members, or face reprisals from the wronged party. And so what ends up happening is you guys have been inviting more and more people. Daniel Deraviso obviously has been kind of there since the beginning, but these acolytes that you guys got from the Church of the Weeping Lady that have kind of made their way over to you, you've maybe noticed that they're a little bit darker than you were expecting, like for healers. They were quite ready to help out with the murder that happened in place of your lair.
It was a little
and-
odd for healers.
And it's at this moment, Marv, you're taking a stroll in the gardens outside the library there.
Oh, yeah.
And you see these ladies digging a hole.
Hey, what are you doing? Looks like you're digging a hole.
Yeah.
What's in the hole?
It's just honestly, there's been some people around that we've been trying to avoid as
You
much
gonna
as
hide in it?
possible.
Yeah, hide in the hole.
No,
Oh, good. It doesn't make sense.
yeah, I don't know who this is, but been sticking their head around here a lot, and so we just thought we'd handle it.
The head? Who? What?
They gesture
What does it have to
towards
do
the
with the hole?
hole. They gesture towards the hole. You see that there is a man in the hole.
Who's the man in the hole?
You see that the man is wearing a blue coat.
It's the guy with the coat in the hole. Who is that guy?
I don't know, but he kept coming around at night. When you guys were gone.
Hey, who are you? Guy in the hole?
He does not answer.
Was he dead?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. Why else would he be in a hole?
Yeah, don't worry. We did it elsewhere, but we brought him back here because it's good for the soil.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course it is. All right.
Yeah, and then that's the conversation that Marv and them have. Marv doesn't see anything wrong with it, but the Bluecoats do. The Bluecoats start investigating over the next few days. You guys, they and Myri, like as you guys go out, You see that the blue coat presence in Six Towers is much higher than it used to be. You see investigators approaching people in the street, even approaching you. Who wants to have this conversation?
Not Albatross.
Fair enough. Myri or Vey? I'll flip a coin if I have to.
Flip that coin, I guess.
All right. Roll. That's an 11. It's Vey. Vey, you're out and about. And you get approached by an investigator and like a pair of blue coats who are standing nearby to watch, and they say, "Oh, listen, have you seen anything suspicious lately? There's been a blue coat patrol where one of the members has gone missing. They're investigating a library out west."
Oh, interesting. Well, I've been haven't been around town recently, the past few days, but no, I haven't seen anything. Is there something particular that you're looking for?
Yeah. So Ethan, at this point in time, Vey gets to make this decision. Because of the actions that have happened here, you guys can lose face, forfeit rep equal to your tier +1, make an example of one of the gang members, or face reprisals from the wrong party.
All right, let me just throw up the Soul Seekers. See the.
Yeah, I think we could dip a little bit of rep because we don't have
Okay.
anywhere near enough money to bump up anyway.
It's only 8 coin to bump up.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, we totally have
you're-
enough coin. Well, I mean, I don't know. Is everyone all right? Dip and rep? I'm fine with dip. So when you say losing face, dipping rep, right? That would be what is that? Like, that's not we get in trouble.
No, it's not you get into trouble. It means that you guys are gonna downplay like your prowess and your it's not daring. I don't know why it says daring. But your reputation is gonna take a hit. You guys were ambitious.
Okay, I understand. Okay.
So now
So
it
you
just kind
guys
of seems like we're big wusses.
Well,
Yeah.
and I mean, so I think what what I can clearly explain to the bluecoats is that if you're having a missing person, if you happen to find them, it'd be appreciative if you could let us know, because we are very closely affiliated to the Weeping Woman, and so we're very much about helping others and the healing and just the well-being of Six Towers in general. So we're definitely not going around and doing bad things, but we're helping things along.
And the investigator, he writes everything down you're saying. But Vey is savvy enough to know that he's gonna have to tell a lot of people like kind of this cover story that we haven't been doing a lot lately. We're focused on this. Like, this isn't something we would do. You have to go around town and tell people this.
Yeah, well,
And that's
the
why
other
your rep
thing
takes a hit.
is we've just been attacked as well, and so we're definitely a little out of it. So we are in the midst of repairs, and once we are back up and running in a few weeks, we will continue business as usual. But for now, we are closed for renovations.
And a lot of people are like, you kind of hear the murmurs and the gossip about town is that you guys were maybe something to worry about before or something to look forward to. But it just seems like they're getting comfortable. these
Oh.
days.
It hurts so much. It really hurts Faye's reputation to be doing this.
But yeah, so you guys take a small reputation hit. However, you learn the flaw of the Weeping Lady women, which is that they are savage.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, they used to be savage. That's like 2 dead bodies now. I got a dead body. They got a dead body.
Guys
Yeah,
are
but
heating up.
yeah. Speaking of heat, actually, so unless anyone
That
wants
transition was too good. Try it. Make that segue worse. Make
you
that
know,
segue
sometimes
worse.
on a humid day, I get real sweaty because I have hypohidrosis. Speaking of hyperhidrosis, you guys have that vice den. You guys could roll for your vice den. You have 3 heat, so anything 4 or higher would net you go more coin.
All right.
Just go- Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Single
Roll
die?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Nice.
Why was
Nope.
that 2?
Oh, try again.
Oh.
Oh, I
That was-
did 14.
Oh, you rolled a 0. That's why you rolled 0 die.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
0
yeah, you
defaults to
gotta tell
2.
Well, yeah, it'll do 2, but it's 2 take the worst. Ugh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oof.
Don't worry. You guys don't lose coin from this, like, even though, so you're good. But yeah, you guys are kind of back in and out of doing your vice den stuff, dipping people in the water. Some of these new followers and these new students that you have, unfortunately, probably because you're still kind of diverting some funds to the Church of the Weeping Lady to make sure that they can operate, you just didn't make any money this week. Okay. I want to check. Does anyone else want to take any additional downtime actions, spending coin or rep to do so?
I would like to take the coin that we earned and finish off that gun.
Absolutely. Let me open that rules section there. Because crafting, I've been reading up on crafting. There it is at the bottom. Show players. All right. So, you do need to spend a downtime action. Where is crafting? There it is. So, Miu and I, we started doing this, but then I don't think we actually finished. We have some creation questions. I ask what type of creation is it, what does it do? We know it's a railgun that fires off like basically electric arcs that act like bullets when used against spirits. You ask me what's the minimum quality level of this item, and I say it's a 4. That is a tier 4 item. I ask you what rare, strange, or adverse aspect of this formula or design has kept it in obscurity or out of common usage. Why does not everyone have a ghost railgun?
It's too cool.
No one's cool enough. They ain't ambitious enough.
I don't think I could pull it off.
And
They
it could
got the
very well
max-
be that it is impractical to use, or that it's like overly destructive. It could be that it's made of rare components.
I was thinking a bit of like rare components. The technology is still a little bit unwieldy.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair enough to say. So it's a little unwieldy, and it's got rare parts to it. Once you've invented a formula, you can craft by using a downtime activity. No problem. So now we go for a crafting roll. So you get to roll a die for each Tinker action dot and for anyone who chooses to assist in this roll. So you can have other characters choose to assist. You can also use your cohorts to assist.
Okay.
You get +1 quality per coin spent, which you would do at the end. +1 quality for workshop crew upgrade, which you have. You don't have fine crafting tools, which would also potentially increase the
I have fine tinker tools.
No, but it's
crafting. Okay.
It's another crew upgrade you can get. You can
Okay.
have so you are starting at 1 quality. If you roll a critical, that would be quality is tier +2. Because you have the workshop, that would be enough to get it. But if you roll a 6, that's tier +1, which would be 2. A 4 or 5 is equal to tier, which would be 1. And if you roll a 1 or a 3, it's 0. And then you would have to spend coin to bridge the gap.
Okay.
So basically, you're making a tinker roll. Anyone who wants to assist, you do have to pay stress as per normal.
I could ask the cohorts for help.
Yep, you can ask them for
Yeah.
help. Also, no, that really only works for scores, so you're good. Yeah. So go ahead and give me that tinker roll. And let's see where you get.
Okay. Hey, I'll take the 6.
Nice.
You got a success, so that is equal to tier +1. Your tier 1, that makes it tier 2. It's 2 coin to have this complete.
2 coin, y'all okay with 2 coin?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. A creation or modification may have one or more drawbacks chosen by the GM. I am going to say that it is conspicuous.
Fair.
This creation doesn't go unnoticed. Take +1 heat if it's used any number of times on an operation. Basically, if you use this more than once in a score, in like multiple scores, it's going to be like a thing that immediately people recognize that this is clearly the Soul Seekers. Okay. Complex. No, not complex. Rare, unreliable, volatile. I'm gonna make one up. It's not on the list. I'm gonna say it's unwieldy or difficult, which is kind of the words that you used. I feel like Myri is the only person who would be able to use it effectively without like I think Myri is the only person who's like actually capable of understanding the way you crafted it and how to use it. And so if you handed it to someone else, they would struggle to even fire it off.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of built it without thinking about the user in mind. Sounds like something Myri would do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it has those 2 drawbacks. It's conspicuous and unwieldy, but it is made, and it is a tier 4 item.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
You have Ghost Gun.
It was like
Yes.
3 sessions to make that weapon.
That's right. Imagine it. It better be good.
Watch the first roll just be like ones.
Like crit fail.
Oh.
It blows up in my hands.
All right, I'm gonna make a clock. Like no.
All right, guys. That was a very heavy session, and I feel like we're just about at the end here. We're gonna cut away to Lord Skurlock,
Oh.
who is sitting in his study with a cup of tea that he's not drinking. It's just kind of sitting there. It's gone cold. He's reading a book, and you can hear the sound of like scraping above him. And as the camera pans kind of through the floorboards, we have the cutaway of like the wood and what it looks like. And you see that this circle of spirits is still there. The path of echo spirits that are trapped in Lord Skurlock's attic. from when we performed that ritual. We see the face of these angry spirits as they try to break free.
Yeah,
At
I was
this
gonna
point,
bring that one up. Sorry, go ahead.
no worries. At this point in time, if you want to take a couple minutes here, what are you guys doing about the Path of Echoes? Or is this going to be the kind of thing that's going to take a whole nother session? Like, are we really killing them? Or, like, do you guys want to, like, quickly narrate?
I got a ghost railgun.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I think like an interrogation next episode would be pretty interesting.
Okay. You're welcome to interrogate them. What are their plans? Okay,
What
no worries.
were their plans?
Mm,
What
knows.
do they know about the artifacts? All that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very quickly on air here, guys. I'm gonna do a couple faction changes. Where's the Path of Echoes? You guys move from 3 to 2 with them again. And they also move from tier 3 with the stronghold to tier 1 with the weak hold. Okay.
That's much less intimidating now.
Sucks to suck, don't it, buddies?
Yeah. They are not gone, but they are severely weakened. They have lost their school. They have lost the majority of their leaders who were spirits. They're not doing great, is really what I'm trying to say. The bill hooks. You guys moved to a -2 with the bill hooks.
Oh.
Who also moved from tier 3 with the stronghold to tier 2 with a weak hold.
Oh, yeah.
Lord Skurlock, you guys maintain a 2. However, he moves to tier 4 with a weak hold. You guys gain a point with the Dockers. I meant to give you that when Marv joined up. Circle of Flame. You guys move from +2 friends to 1 associates with the Circle of Flame. I had a clock going to see how long before you guys actually addressed that you had one of these items or spoke to them again.
I don't want to give them the items anymore. So it makes sense.
But I don't want to do what we told them we do.
And that's
it's like,
okay.
You didn't do your job well. And it's like, that's fair. I think we've decided on another job. So that's...
Take another contract. Don't worry about it.
Very quickly, I want to describe a vision that Jacob Bridgewater has.
Oh.
Yes. So Jacob, after this event with Satara, perhaps you find yourself at the docks or near some body of water. And as you did before we met you, you kind of hear these voices, and they were talking about the circle and the martyr and the teacher. And as you look in to the water, you see a yellow robe floating along the surface.
Like it's like loose?
Yeah, it's just a robe.
Has he ever seen that before?
No, it's kind of odd. Like, I mean, you've maybe seen like articles of clothing that end up in the canals.
But it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything to him.
No.
He's gonna fish it out.
Okay. Yeah. You got a new lightning hook, and you use it to fish it out of the water.
That seems like a bad idea.
You lose that lightning hook.
Yeah, it feels like sticking lightning X, whatever, lightning anything into the water seems like a bad plan. No. Fish it out with a, like a gaff from somewhere nearby.
Yeah. No worries. You managed to fish it out, and you see this robe, and as you pull it up, I mean, it's just a robe. But as you hold on to it, like in your heart, you know that this is the teacher. Like, this belongs to the teacher.
Okay.
And isn't it funny that it's in your hands now? Dun dun dun. But no, you have a moment where, like, I believe that Jacob Bridgewater receives this and has like a strong compulsion to understand that maybe he is the teacher.
Oh yeah.
And we'll leave it there today, guys. I know that maybe isn't the most climactic thing, but I had a list of stuff I wanted to get done this session, and that was the last one.
All right.
So, thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen at home. Thank you for playing, players in their own homes. Everyone's in their homes. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
We will see you next week on Sins and Consequences. Nighty night, and to the